WIIFTBP. WIIFTBP.
As we take this journey through life, we face trials and tribulations. But just know, the enemy is not gonna win, cause the storm is almost over. That's right, the storm is almost over.
Don't you give up, you come too far to turn back now. Hold your head, it's almost over. So set up to take you to your destiny. It's gonna be alright. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, this is your season. Just keep on believing. Blessings you'll be receiving. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It will be alright. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything's gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. The storm is almost. Keep on moving. Don't let nobody stop you, no. You're getting closer. Almost over. You're a soldier. Now fight your way to victory. It's gonna be alright. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, this is your season. Just keep on believing. Blessings you'll be receiving. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It will be alright. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything's gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. Oh, dark clouds may rise, strong winds may blow. Try to see through the rain. You gotta hold on. Be strong. Don't try. Almost over. Your hands to the sky, your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything's gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. The storm is almost over. Just hold on. Be strong. Don't give up. Just hold on.
Broken screen, crash system,
Are you in need of spyware or virus removal from your computer? Well, contact RPC Computer Repair in South Shore and let us help you with all your computer repair services and print needs. Need office or print production services, copies, scans, fax, or even notary service? Then stop by and support RPC Computer Repair and Print Shop located 1741 East 71st Street in the 71st Street corridor, newly revitalized South Shore areas, and let RPC be your one-stop shop, where we believe RPC is your PC. RPC Computer Repair is also a UPS access point where you can drop off and pick up your important packages. So let RPC be of service to you. Call RPC Computer Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. at 773-966-4457. That's 773-966-4457. Visit RPC at rpccomputeringinc.com for more information.
WIIFTBP.
See it in your eyes. You've been hurt way too many times, baby. And if I'm being honest, yeah, I can tell, girl, that you want this, yeah, but I can only wait for so long, girl. Giving us both some space so we can see, but don't make this too hard. Cause I still want you right next to me. Girl, it's plain to see. Don't play with it. Baby, life's too short. Gotta make a decision, yeah. It's time to make up your mind, girl. You gotta make up your mind, girl. You don't have to say a word. The writing's all over your face. Yeah. You don't have to hurt no more. Just give me your love. You don't hold back and let it go. But I'ma only wait for so long, girl. Giving us both some space so we can see. But don't make this too hard. Yeah, cause I still want you right next to me. Girl, it's plain to see, yeah. Oh, baby, life's too short. Gotta make a decision, yeah. It's time to make up your mind, girl. You gotta make up your mind, girl. Been trying to reach you all day. What's the deal? Keep it real, baby. You can't even pick up and call me. Matter of fact, at this point, I just feel that you're trying to play me for a fool. Baby, that ain't cool. Now that ain't cool. See, you've been running around like you've been single, looking for a good time so you can mingle. Got me out here looking stupid. You out here with your bow like a cupid, but I guess it's cool. Guess I was just another hit on your hit list, another good time that you wouldn't miss. But I blame myself for all these feelings that I felt. You were nothing but a savage, seeking no ways you could scavenge. This thing I thought was real turned out to be nothing more than a feel. It's petty love, petty love, petty love, petty love. That's what we got. That's what we got. myself trying to treat. Now it's can talk, oh baby, can you see? Cause you can't take what I'm doing. Is that cool? Now that ain't cool. But I blame myself for all these feelings that I felt. You were nothing but a savage, seeking on those you could scavenge. This thing I thought was real turned out to be nothing more than a feel. It's petty love, petty love, petty love, petty love. Petty love, petty love, petty love. That's what we got. Yeah. Why'd you have to hurt me, boy? I thought you were so deserving, boy. You took my love for granted, boy. I'll just take this as a lesson, boy. Petty love, petty love, petty love, petty love. That's what we got. Petty love, petty love, petty love. But I blame myself for all these feelings that I felt. You were nothing but a savage, seeking on those you could scavenge. This thing I thought was real turned out to be nothing more than a feel. Petty love, petty love, petty love. That's what we got. Yeah, petty love, petty love, petty love. What we got.
Saturday, June 19th, 2021. Grab the family and join the Woodlawn for the second annual Juneteenth block party. Join the Woodlawn team for a day of vendors, activities, DJs, live music and broadcasts, rooftop experiences, and much more. Vendor space is still available. For tickets and more information, please visit www.thewoodlawn1200.com. That's www.thewoodlawn1200.com. We do this for the culture.
All right, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at The Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at The Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
Check, 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 check. Oh, please, don't you rock my boat, 'cause I don't want my boat to be rocking. Oh, please, don't you rock my boat. Oh, no, 'cause I don't want my boat to be rocking. I'm telling you just, I like it like this. Keep this just like this. And you should know by now. I like it.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Man, Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Miss Ruthie Moore. Ruthie Moore, how you feeling, kiddo?
What up?
Let me not say kiddo. Let me say...
I know you ageist. It's okay.
Dang, you call me an ageist. Dang. Mm-hmm. Is that a bad thing?
I think when you get to a certain age, you become ageist.
Yeah, I think when you get to a younger
50.
age...
50 is the threshold when you start.
Lord. When you start acting like an old man. No, I've been back in my day.
Since when?
Since millennials came out. Since they invented the term millennials, I have been like, you know. But I'm learning. Y'all learned me a lot yesterday. I was like, whew.
Yeah,
Lord.
I'm learning too.
I'm learning.
I'm learning
listen, one day
and the sun.
millennials are slowly creeping on to come up into power.
They
so
are.
when we get total power, the world will see seismic shifts. So you might think some of those are good, you might think some of those are bad, but just know it's gonna change.
You know what, Ruthie? Change always happens, and so I'm expecting it. Let me say this: I'm not mad at y'all making the world for yourselves.
It's for see, that's the thing. It's not, we don't just look at ourselves. We look at try to make the world better for everybody.
What your perception of better for everybody is.
It is.
I think there are some things we need to evolve on.
Like what?
I mean, I think there's a lot of things that we need to evolve on. I mean, I think my first priority is obviously race, particularly the blackness. I think there are some issues, as I agree. But I don't think it's all for the good in some cases, because I feel like my whole thing is if you gut us by the time we get there, and then we get there,
we gutted.
Right. So, but yeah.
So what's the recourse? Radical action.
I'm not debating the radical action. I just think that I still want.
Good morning.
Good morning. I think radical action is. Can I say this? I admire the radical action because I do feel like that is the way change happens. And I do think that there are a lot of things that need to change. I just want, can y'all give me some time on some of them?
Just some of them. I'm like, good Lord.
I don't think that's how time works.
I'm learning. I mean, because I'm just all confused. Yesterday, I got double whammy. I thought somebody would. You know
what actually changed Reese's mind is he told you. He said, you know what? I have a cousin. So when you have people when you have those personal connections, that's why we a little bit more diverse than y'all, because we know people. We know different type. Like we interact with people differently than I feel like y'all did.
I agree. You know what I'm gonna say that same premise is though? That you know what, that is the perfect description of what happened to me yesterday when I went to the cannabis press conference. We're gonna talk about that. But it's cause it's my friend or it's cause it's somebody that I personally know, then I'm not supposed to say anything. Right? Or I have to shift my kind of values or my position because it's people that I know. Yesterday I went to that cannabis press conference. Mm-hmm. Do you know some people had the nerve to have attitude with me? Like so we gonna talk about it because I was like, hold on, you got that? I was like, wait a minute, wait. You got the attitude? You got attitude. Black is $2 billion on the table, and you got the attitude. I would have thought. Let me just say this. I thought that yesterday. First, shout out to Ricky Hendon. Shout out to State Senator Ricky Hendon. I was looking for little Ricky for you, Ruthie. I was going to give you. I left because I was like, hold on.
Somebody made you mad.
It was like you do not something to make me. I'm about to go on vacation. Don't make me summer jam you, right? Because I was like, but I am going to talk about the situation. I'm not going to talk about the person, but I am going to talk about the situation. And Ruthie, that is what you described for Reese is exactly kind of the same situation that happened yesterday, or happens to us as black folks sometimes when we put certain elected people in power. And then we can't say nothing because it's them. And it was just pretty deep yesterday. I'm going to tell you, I was like all happy. I was like, what? You know, I'm running around halfway giving half hugs. Not like, because I don't want to give you a COVID, like a hug, but like the COVID hug, like I'll take my arm back. Thank you very much.
Should have just gave him the fist bump.
I know what I should have did was been like, oh, yeah, I'm starting to really, my outside interactions.
What generation was they in? Yours or was they a millennial?
Mine.
Exactly.
Mine. And what was funny though is the millennials be like, Maze, fight the power, brother.
You already know.
See you. We see you, dog. You ain't there by yourself.
Probably said, thank you, Maze.
They didn't say that, but they was like, I'll get you lunch. I was like, what money you work? They was like, we got PPP.
You down with PPP?
Yeah, you know me. It's the Maze Jackson Show. All right, let me go through. So first of all, that is my girl Ruthie Moore. See, Ruthie, this is why I be telling you Todd is like we gonna give him like a recurring character, like he used to be. You see, I had the studio all set up because y'all know we got a big guest today, right? Right. And let me tell y'all, my squad. You know, this is like the last week of school. You know, everybody be like, you know what? I got a final at 8:00, so I got to bounce.
I already, I ain't gonna be here tomorrow either.
Oh, the last day of school. How you missed the last day of school is the day you supposed to come so you can break all the rules.
It is fun.
Ain't no rules. Right. We supposed to throw out.
We got cameras.
We supposed to have a cake and punch, and we supposed to be throwing papers all up. And
you know what? Why is it? I used to hate when people used to say cake and punch, but in this new infused adult life, cake and punch is a lit.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna get me some cake and punch. I'm gonna be
you gonna be on your vacation.
I'm gonna be on the plane. Like my kids gonna be like, "Can I get some?" I'm be like, "No, you cannot have any of this cake. No, thank you."
I told Bella, I'm like, grown-up juice.
People gonna be walking around like, let me get some of that. Dad, can I get? No, you cannot touch.
No.
All right, y'all. So yeah, Sonia, Escobar, Ruthie Moore, Maze Jackson. A little bit later, Former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich will be in the studio. He's off those papers. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about what we're doing, so I'm not going to talk about it. But we will also, joining us today at 8 o'clock will be ABC News International. Just telling you, Ruthie. This could be our big, we were supposed to get an Oscar last time. Wait a minute, did I turn the heat on? Okay, hold on, because the heat is literally on.
I'll go turn it up.
Thank you, Ruth. I mean, Sonia. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you. Because, I mean, I was like, Ruthie's coming. Let me turn off the air. It was. Click it back to air, because it's like.
I got my coat on. I'm ready.
Turn on the air just a little bit, Sonia. We're going to make it to the break till we turn on the regular radio station. Because y'all know we ain't got the radio people coming on till 6:30 now.
That's only in like 3 minutes.
Right. Oh, 3 minutes. Good Lord, the time flies. Oh, there goes the change. I can feel it. I could feel it coming in. Yeah,
the change.
Oh no. What you talking about, the change? Don't start.
I was talking about menstrual cycles again.
Oh Lord!
I leave for 5 seconds.
No. And then I walked in here and I don't even know what the heck they wrote on the board. Talk about normalize the period. I
did that before I left.
Did you?
Yesterday.
Did you really?
In red
I
marker.
wrote it in red.
And you know what? And I was going to erase it because I was going to erase it because I thought the Huskies might have wrote it up there, and I was like, we can't even have Ruthie get mad the day before the last day of school.
I wrote that in hopes that you would see it.
I saw it on the way in.
You can erase it.
Oh no, I'm gonna leave it up there. We're gonna let the international news. I'm gonna put your name on it. We're gonna let the international people be like, "What's the?" You know how it's gonna be like when they focus on the camera. You know, like when they come in.
You know what they're gonna say? Oh my goodness, WIIFTBP media is so progressive and welcoming to women.
Transformative here.
What a welcoming environment to women.
It's getting hot in here. Getting a little hot.
I was thinking of all you. Literally, I went down the wormhole and I thought of all of the places that there should be free and accessible sanitary items.
I just said. I think so. I think they should be free and accessible. I just still don't think they need to be hanging in our bathroom. But that's okay.
The same way Google be giving out naps and LaCroix, they should also have sanitary items.
Oh,
that's cool. I don't have a problem with any of that.
So when you start your new company, put some in the bathroom for the women, the good ones.
You know what? Now that you mentioned that, I will. I really don't know what the good ones are.
The good ones.
Now, if you're talking, like, I would assume that it's the ones in the blue box with the dark blue with the light blue around. That's from my traumatized children days. I think I got in trouble yesterday for saying that my wife does not make me go to the store, but I would if I had to. It wouldn't be anything. I hope I wasn't in trouble. I felt like I was getting kind of glared at in the car yesterday. Like I felt like some kind of way, like maybe it was me.
Because we have to be magicians. You gotta wrap it. You gotta hide it. Put it in the corner. Nobody can see it.
Can I tell you? I'm not suggesting it. Can I tell you? I wasn't suggesting any of that though.
Put them in brown paper bags like a 40.
I wasn't suggesting any of that, ladies. And I feel like as a dad with a daughter, right,
and a granddaughter,
granddaddy.
Oh, good God. Thank God that's not my lesson to teach though. I feel like as a dad with a daughter, and I am not opposed to making products available. I just think that this is the bridge to the next level. I think we went from third bathrooms. I kind of pushed on that, and then I was kind of like, third bathroom. I thought of it I always think of these things as a business owner. Right, like, Dad, you mean I got to put a hole in the wall and got to call a plumber, and then I got to get a contract and I got to get a city. Like, for nothing else with me and on the third bathroom, it's just the whole economics of it. Like, golly, you mean I got to go buy it? Do I put a urinal? What do I? Okay, but I'm going to stop even being the jerk on it. I got to cut a hole in my wall. Mm-hmm. I got to make space. I got to get a permit, and I got to put a third. So that was my economic argument. Forget the gender stuff. Now, here we sit. That happened. And I thought the whole purpose of that was to create a safe space. Now, I just think it's the slippery slope that, maybe not the best. Well, let's not, maybe not, okay? We're going to make it normal. So anyway, slippery slope, maybe. I just feel like this is the path. And so I say instead of all the stunting, let's just have one row of, you got a row of stalls, you got a row of urinals. You pick, and in the wall, there's everything you need from condoms to lady items to whatever, and let's just, I don't know if I'm comfortable. It's like one of my biggest challenges as a dad was when I had my daughter, was taking her into a men's bathroom, because I don't even know if I ever had to go to the bathroom, that I would want a woman next to me as I was. She'd be like, what you been eating? I'd be like, look, you wanted to be up in here. And then y'all gonna be talking about, it smell like pee in here. You wanted to be in the here. Then next thing we gonna have to put potpourri in the bathrooms. Then you gonna go into men's bathrooms. It's gonna be pictures on the wall. Where does it stop? I'm just saying, where does it stop?
And we're just
do we put flowers on the toilet too?
Through our clothes.
So next thing you're gonna say, we can't have the fly in the urinal anymore, so we can't aim anymore. Y'all tripping?
There's a fly.
You talking about that little cake thing?
No, in the men's urinals, in the super cool ones.
A Target?
Yes. So check it out.
Okay.
They put a fly, sometimes they have a fly in the urinal, like carved into it, right? And it's black, because you in that trying to aim to hit it, right? If a fly is in the urinal and you got a gun, you gonna shoot.
That's true. It's like that game that people play at the carnival.
Yes.
Squirt gun.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm going to tell you, it took me a few times to recognize that I was like, that is a bionic fly. I was like, I'm drowning him. Get him. Water hose. I was trying to use all the different pressure levels. I was like, I tried rapid fire. I tried straight stream. I tried stop and start. None of it. And then you don't want to touch it.
Ew, no.
So you're like, what kind of fly is that? Then it was like, haha. And it's funny because they knew men would be trying to aim. That's why you don't need to be in the men's bathroom. Period, point blank.
Like, what y'all over there doing?
Right. And then you'll be like, look at you.
What y'all doing?
I'm trying to get the fly out the toilet. Look, y'all, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be live on WBGX 1570 AM. This is the Maze Jackson Show. Maze, Ruthie, and no Todd. We got Sonia in the building, and we'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Broken screen? Crash system? Are you in need of spyware or virus removal from your computer? Well, contact RPC Computer Repair in South Shore and let us help you with all your computer repair services and print needs. Need office or print production services, copies, scans, fax, or even notary service? Then stop by and support RPC Computer Repair and Print Shop, located 1741 East 71st Street in the 71st Street corridor, newly revitalized South Shore areas, and let RPC be your one-stop shop, where we believe RPC is your PC. RPC Computer Repair is also a UPS access point where you can drop off and pick up your important packages. So let RPC be of service to you. Call RPC Computer Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. at 773-966-4457. That's 773-966-4457. Visit RPC at rpccomputeringinc.com for more information.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq.
And Cassiopeia.
And we need you to like,
comment,
and share
that thing
every Tuesday and Thursday from 1
to 3 p.m. on
What's in It for the Black People Media.
You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard.
What are y'all takes on blended families?
Meaning white people? Or what? No, she mean like you got kids, this person got kids, y'all get together and bring the whole family together. I don't know. I have zero experience with it. I imagine it could be challenging. Especially, I think the older the children are, I think the more challenging it could be. I think if it's little children or something, you can kind of explain it to them, and they may like grow up together and kind of in that same space where this is mom, this is dad type thing. But if you talk about older kids where they literally have a mom or dad, another person like that has been in their lives, when they're older, and you're like, oh, now this is your stepbrother, stepsister. Like, nah, we like 17. Like, I'll bone her.
And if this family don't work, you can just give me to the game anyway. Ain't no other, it ain't gonna matter. No woman will ever be important. I'm not being an ass. I'm serious. In my mind, the value of that kind of a commitment is family. I got that already. So now we just chilling. So you ain't gonna really know my children.
What's up, good people? You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard live on What's in It for the Black People Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For the black people, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze, it's Sonia, and Ruthie, and Todd, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve on.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ruthie Moore. We done fired Todd. That's it. I've decided. How you going to take the day off before vacation off?
He
no
tired.
No call, no show, though? The no call, no show, though. Like, y'all, what is the response for? What do you get for a no call, no show these days?
I think it depends on what the circumstances are. Like, it could be something happen. It could be an emergency.
How many no call, no shows you get in a week? In 1 week?
I think maybe two.
None.
Two.
That's millennial.
Two, you might be pushing it.
No call, no show in a week. Two in a week, you fired.
But something might be wrong. He might need FMLA.
You know what? That FMLA, that's y'all problem. People, that FMLA get you. That FMLA gonna get some people fired one day. As soon as they fix that, that's the problem with that FMLA. But you know, people pimp that FMLA.
Of course they do. People pimp everything.
But they pimp. It's unfortunate when they pimp it, and it's the black people that put you on and you pimp it. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna leave that alone. But that FMLA, boy,
I hope they never change it.
Okay.
Because there's some people that need it.
Mm-hmm. I do. Okay. It's the employer-employee. Well, now that we are all together, I think we've got our whole audience with us now. We are live on 1570 AM. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. That's right. This is the Maze Jackson Show. If you are listening to us, if you are just picking up today at 8 o'clock, an exclusive for our social media viewers only, former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich will be in the studio. He's off the papers. He's off a supervised release. And he's going to come and maybe talk about what his plans are going forward. Now, you know, we were one of the first interviews he had when he came home the first time. It's about a year ago. A little bit under a year ago, and then the COVID hit. So he never really hit the streets. Kind of stayed in the house, never made the... So I'm going to be interested to see what goes on as this... You know, I often wonder, could he return to public life? I feel like depending on the laws, you know, like I feel like he could. I definitely think he could be an alderman. I bet you he could probably, depending on who he ran against, running for state rep too. Now, I guess you can't probably do that unless you were when you were at the top. However, to rise back, boy, that'd be interesting. We're gonna talk about it. Do black people still like Rod Blagojevich, you think? His connect to, a lot of people were saying because of his connection to Trump, but I think there's that's a double-edged sword. I mean, y'all think y'all tripping. If y'all sitting in jail for 14 years, then you had 14 years and dude was like,
you go back home, come on.
Come on now.
That's a good question.
I
I need to hear about the least offensive.
So Sonia, cue that up because I do want to ask that question.
That's what I want.
I wanted to be like, because you know how I describe him? I wrote an article about him back in the day, called it Roddin Hood. Rob from the rich, give to the poor. And I think he had some I think we excused some of what some white folks would consider his unsavory parts because he was unabashed about where he knew his bread was buttered. Like, I feel like the last time black folks' political power was truly acknowledged was during the Blagojevich era. Where the last time that the black vote was not assumed and it paid off, to me, was during the Blagojevich era. Right? Like, and after the Blagojevich era, and I don't know how strong of an ally to black people he was in his day-to-day life, but public perception-wise,
yeah,
he catered to black people. And there's like this, him and then Emo Jones, and it was a time where, because I feel like we were able to feel the government. Like, we were able to actually feel it and see tangible outcomes. And like, even the conversation on the couch, like, the reason I could forgive his conversation on the couch, regardless of how it came, was because, like, he paid back economically. Like, straight up, like, you talk that least, and I think JB said least offensive.
Yeah.
He said, I got this thing that's golden, what do I do? Right?
He had zingers. You know,
Right.
anybody could get it.
I feel like stuff he said about Barack Obama, I think a lot of black people, got not really tripping, but we're going to be talking to him about all of that. So for all of you all that are on the radio, this is a social media exclusive. So at 8 o'clock, you're going to need to go to the Maze Jackson page.
Bam.
To Maze Jackson on Facebook. Go to Maze Jackson on YouTube. You can also go to the WIIFTBP page on YouTube.
You got a lot of rubber bands on your arm today. You feeling it, huh?
No, actually, what happens, Ruthie, is people see them and they say, where can I get one? And I just take it off and give it to them.
Genius.
And so, and what's kind of interesting is depending on the person, if I give them one that I'm wearing, they would rather have the one that I'm wearing than the one that is in the bag. And so,
of course, now
I just added some more so that I can
pop them off
and then go get some more. Shout out to the twins, to the the little brothers, Tahimba Young's sons, who are on their way to college, by the way. Remember, they started this as a company. We interviewed them a couple years ago, and they're on their way to college. They're on their way to college. I'm looking for, but they were young entrepreneurs, and so they came on the show years ago, and then since then, a lot of people I know have ordered their rubber bands from them, their wristbands from them, and they always come by and just drop off a load and say, hey, this is our contribution to what's in it for the black people. So if you stop by the WIIFTBP store, did I say that? You can get you.
I didn't hear nothing.
You can get not only can you get one of these fresh to death WIIFTBP shirts. I'm ordering Ruthie size next month for the summertime.
For real?
No, I'm getting girls.
Plus
not
size
like little
too.
boy. What you talking about?
I'm plus.
Anyway, so here we go. So I'm gonna order the cute girl shirts too. What colors y'all want? Y'all just want black and white?
Light pink.
Like Ruthie. That's why I knew Ruthie was in there. Ruthie, like, give me a black muscle shirt. Show my guns.
No, I don't have muscles. I do, but not really.
Ruthie, are you like what? You got like? Are you like the track? Right, you like one of them tracks.
Actually, I'm pretty like
when like, are you like, we see one of them things, you got like your guts, your stomach is ripped, and you like,
I try to stay pretty fit.
Did you do the hurdles?
I tried those. I'm I'm kind of short. Told you I'm over sprinter. Relay.
So a little sprinter.
4x2.
Pew, pew,
200.
Pew. I hate it running.
Really? It was most of just like conditioning.
It was
for me
asthma
to get ready for like softball.
See,
stuff like that.
No, I was getting ready for church.
Oh,
yeah. Any organized sports. I told you my junior year, I went out for the football team. I was like, I don't care what Reverend Jackson says in Footloose, and I'm going to play on the football team. So having never played organized sports a day in my life, I go show up at the Bolingbrook High School football field.
That was varsity, right?
Yes.
Whoa.
So I show up at varsity at the time in which Bolingbrook is emerging as a football powerhouse in the suburbs. Our starting two linebackers were both like 6'5". Shout out to Barry Kelly. Shout out to Dale Shemansky, who happened to be the first white guy who threw rocks at me trying to. And then they were like this.
Your memory is long.
Oh no, I still, even when I go to Bolingbrook now, I be like, but now he like the tactical, so he be right. So it's like the cops and robbers. Like one side of my friends is like still the Bolingbrook challenge, the streets of Bolingbrook, and then the other half is the people was the white guys that grew up policed the black dudes that they went to high school with.
Oh,
it's kind of crazy. It's a kind of crazy scenario. It's like, and everybody's at the same age. So it's like, it's a weird.
Does that help with relations?
No, because they was like, I hated you, white boy, in high school, and I hate you now.
12.
Yeah. What was I going with this? I forgot where I was even going with this.
Look at me, I'm a failure.
Not making it on the football team?
Oh, I did make it the football team because everybody made the football team. Like, one of the things the coach felt was like nobody gets cut. But the reality was I come to recognize that was because they ran out of tackling dummies.
Oh.
So, like, can you imagine, like, I don't think I even got to, I think I went out, I might have been 105 pounds.
Oh, my goodness, man.
I didn't get my sprint, I didn't get my growth until, like, my mid-junior year. Like, freshman year.
They had you on defense?
I played defense and offense, and I hated getting the ball. Lord God, mercy, have mercy, Jesus. But
I ain't gonna lie, mate. That was back when football equipment was heavy
and
bulky,
and and it was like there was no mercy. And you know, I was a talk smacker in school, so it was like, oh, you want to be on the football field? Okay, I got you. But
yikes,
the coach tried to make me quit in the first 2 weeks, and when I didn't quit, they were like, man, that's a tough little son. He ain't gonna never play on the field, but we couldn't, like, they could not get me off the field. They couldn't.
You made it through the whole season?
Oh, man, and I came back the next year and sat the bench a whole nother year.
Wait, they ain't never let you, they ain't put you in the game?
Oh, I played. I mean, I got in, like, you know, I got garbage time.
I don't think, see, that's where my fairness comes in. And the competitive side. It's like, no, let everybody play.
No,
you're not good.
No.
My brothers play football.
No. Do you want to? No. I don't. I feel like let everybody on the team, right?
No,
but not everybody play. No, it's like this, and then you lose your competitive spirit, right? And it's like, again, let everybody play. Participation,
get a trophy,
man. And I'll be like, we throwing them away. Like, I ain't gonna lie. It's like, if my son got a participate, we got a trophy, I'd be like, yeah, did we win? Because if we didn't win, I don't care. And I'd be like, don't come show me, Dad, I got a trophy. What did it say on there? 1, 2, 3? No 3? No 2? No 1? Yeah, that's not a trophy.
For high school.
That's memorabilia. That's not a trophy. A trophy like, I don't want no damn participation trophy for my fantasy football league. I want the belt. I want the belt. Like, what you say in a boxing? Oh, in a boxing ring. Oh, you shouldn't punch him so much because he's no.
Well, no, it will probably be like, he's falling. Why you have to hit him again?
Because he wasn't on the ground yet.
He was falling.
Ruthie, how you gonna lead the revolution? Talk about everybody getting.
You know, I teeter in between softness sometimes.
Yeah,
With children, you know.
no, then you gonna bring soft warriors. So they right then when they get the war, they gonna be like, "Don't hit me! You hit me too hard."
So wait, you taking no
need
prisoners?
strategists.
No.
What?
Destroy your enemy and destroy
You
them
would?
totally.
So no POWs.
No.
Kill them
No,
all.
you got, man, what the POWs mean you ain't got, that mean we get to eat
That
less.
mean you gotta
We gotta eat less. I'm just saying. Like, straight up, unless they got to prove they worth or something. POWs.
I'm still developing that part of my sensibilities.
Ruthie, go read 48 Laws of Power and then watch Exterminate the Brutes.
And I'll be good.
And you gonna be like, you know what? I ain't gonna have no mercy. Like, when you think of...
I watch Rosewood in honor of Tulsa.
Did you... Okay. That Exterminate the Brute... Did y'all see the thing where they showed the part where King Leopold had basket... Like, they didn't want them to steal, so they chopped off one of their hands? And so you see all this, and you see a basket of hands, and everybody's just lined up to get their hand chopped off so they can go back to work.
How they gonna work with one hand?
Because they can't. It's interesting. Did you see that? I want to say that after Exterminate the Brutes, I just saw something about Germany having to pay a couple $1 billion in reparations to Africa for their role in the extermination of people. Now, a couple $1 billion ain't nothing, but y'all, I'm starting to feel some on this reparations.
It's coming. That's why they're trying to control the narrative.
I feel like
give me my check. Put some respect on my check.
I want a Cadillac dealership. I swear to God, please, God, oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please, if we get reparations, can I please have a Cadillac dealership, please, please.
You think that's what black people gonna spend? Their money?
Let me tell you what I'm about to do. I'm gonna be right at 55th and the Dan Ryan.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ask the owner, can I borrow the lot? I'm gonna have truckfuls of. I'm gonna have them trailers that be hauling in the trucks. I'm gonna just be like, just like Carvana. And instead of Carvana though, we're gonna roll them off. What color you want? I'm gonna have the black row, the blue row. I'm gonna have them all laid out. You can just walk through. Give me that one up there.
No.
And I'm gonna tell you, I'll be like, and I'm gonna give you a cash discount.
Maybe a small percentage, but the majority of black people are going to invest and create generational wealth and collective economics.
They're gonna invest in the stock market, then they're gonna crash the stock market, take all of the wealth out of it, and be like, we got all our joints back again. Oh, and Ruthie said, Sonia said, we gonna take this damn plane off, regardless of what y'all talking about, because this is the Maze Jackson show. Is that bombs? That's jet engine.
Might be.
You got bombs.
Might be.
Oh, Lord.
Is that Israel?
You know what? I do need to tell y'all though that the Israel people hit me up and then they didn't hit me back when I said, sure, come on. I think we talked about it. Speaking of Israel, did you see Bibi Netanyahu might be on the way out?
I see that. Is that what you think? Is that to quiet down the?
No, I think that he's run his course.
People be looking for a they was waiting to try to.
Well, I think that.
How many cases does he have?
He has a ton of cases, but I think that during the Trump era, he aligned with Trump, disrespected Obama, did a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I think that Israel is getting backlash for what they did to Palestine because the world is changing on that, particularly with the millennials. And so they have to, at least for the United States to be able to support Israel,
they got to do some symbolic
they got to
change.
do some symbolic change to take the guy who was and Joe Biden hasn't been a friend of Netanyahu hasn't been a friend of Joe Biden for years, and then he disrespected their administration. So here's the perfect time to make the change and then justify, because the person that they're putting in is also anti-Palestinian state. He's also a right winger. He's just not Bibi Netanyahu.
He a little more softer with it.
Not actually.
No.
He's just didn't have
Different.
a chance to talk to Trump and be like, Trump, I'm with you. Right? See how we be doing that on the morning show? That's when I know y'all learned something. Or y'all heard something y'all thought about. Not learned, but heard or thought about something a little deeper. I think very deeply. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Ruthie, you know what I need you to show me how to delete something out of my computer.
Okay.
Okay, because I need to get these things off because it's taking up all my space. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to us live on 1570 AM WBGX. You can give us, well, we're going to open up the phone lines in a minute. I want to ask the social media question of the day. We talked about this last week, but it caught my eye because former Trump ally, at least that's what the pictures show, 42nd Ward Alderman Brendan Riley, he who supported the Democratic committeeman who jumped out and supported the Republican for a state's attorney.
Brendan Riley, the one that disrespected Kim Foxx and some other black women.
Particularly Carrie Steele.
Yep.
That
and did he
Brendan,
get beat up?
He sure did. He sure did.
I do recall something.
I felt so some kind of way about that.
He ain't pressed charges though, did he?
Because he knew what time it was. He said it's just a random act. They was like, no, I think they found the dude, but he didn't want to press charges.
You know they found him. They used the cameras.
The good ones.
They was like, hey, Joe. So that should be okay, anyway. So anyway, he said in the paper and into the news that if the mayor tries to stop liquor sales at 10 o'clock, it's dead in city council, period, point blank, zero. It ain't happening. If she brings a proposal, we're killing it.
On weekends, too?
I don't know. I didn't even get that far. Because let me tell you what.
I'm not driving from Wisconsin.
Oh, I know.
I won't be able to get my 24-pack.
I'm not. But see, you know, we talked about this. But hold on, Ruth. I mean, Sonia. Here go the thing, right? So I got to thinking about the boldness of Brendan Riley. And the fact that he said to the paper, matter-of-factly, that if the mayor tries to bring this proposal to the city council floor, they will stop it. Period. It's dead. And I was thinking to myself, how many white boys is it? I was thinking like the majority of the city council is black and brown. Mm-hmm. Okay? So how does the white boy get to walk up to the mic and say, declare history will be made?
Hear ye, hear ye.
Let me let y'all know
You're not gonna do.
Now, let me just say that the last time we've seen the mayor ever lose a vote was during the Harold Washington era. Now, we done voted on everything from parking meters, billions of dollars, to cannabis, giving us none, he just blocked the DuSable vote. Help me understand how the white guy can confidently walk to the mic and say that all of the city council is going to create history over 10 o'clock liquor sales when they just passed a multi-billion-dollar industry in Chicago that we got none of. And nobody, now, let me take one more step, and then we're going to take a quick break. Besides Kim Bark and Fitzgerald's, who black got a liquor store? Like, why does let me just be clear. Why do we care as black folks? We ain't from Wisconsin. We go to all the liquor stores in the neighborhood. And I'm going to say, I'll give a shout out to A&S because A&S does, and it's another one that somebody built on 87th that's like high caliber.
Like if I have a store.
Like a real store. Right.
So.
Not, but I mean, it's like you go in this experience. So let me shout out to Eddie. I think it's Eddie at A&S. But again, who black got a liquor store that Black Caucus needs to fight for? Because that's 20 votes right there. What I got to ask myself is, how does the white guy get to walk up to the table and declare they're going to make history over liquor sales. And in the same city, the same people voted to exclude us. Who owns the liquor stores in Chicago? Benny's on them. The white boys got their own nice little network. And outside of town, who's the black liquor network? Besides the Rands, besides Kimbark, and besides, like I said, the other one on South Chicago, I think it's Fitzgerald's.
Ain't no black distributors.
Kimbark. I mean, the Rands. But here's the deal. You buying your case from them in the morning time. They ain't got to be. I mean,
they still close at a certain time, right?
No, but I think they sell 24 hours because people be running late at night or whatever. But my point being, how much of that is hurting us? And so then I got to ask, I want to tell y'all, we got to watch who's doing the donations. Watch the money that starts to flood into the accounts. And I want you to look at your flooding of accounts in your ward. Right? So Wally and whoever them, I provide you free food. Nah, what we got in your store? What black products you selling? What? Tell me the liquor store that you like after 10 o'clock in the black neighborhood. At the same time, you got a captive audience because we don't got no bars and nightclubs that we can go buy a cocktail to go at. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at the Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit SissyTacoBar.com for more info.
If I tell them to blow, I keep that metal close. That's how we ride in Chicago.
Alderman Lopez, welcome back to the Maze Jackson Show. The mayor has a very peculiar way she's dealing with this, and I'm trying to understand why does it seem like we're handling this with kid gloves.
The reason that she's not going after the root cause, which is gangs, the reason she's not calling out the silent enablers, as I tweeted out the other day, is because those are many of the same people that she relied on to get elected. I'm talking about the not-for-profits, those that reach out for grants and try to be the intermediaries in a community to try and bridge some of these anti-violence groups, things of that nature. These organizations that say they're trying to build bridges oftentimes are the ones that are enabling the gang lifestyle and allowing it to go unchecked and not holding accountable the individuals causing the violence in the neighborhoods. Those same partners, which she funds, which she relies on, were unceremoniously all pimping themselves out at a press conference, saying that nobody said a word about gangs, but what they did say is that we need more money for the programs that we offer to help stop the violence. And clearly, for more money to go to organizations that are working against the residents of the city of Chicago.
Alderman, how did y'all approve $37 million to go to one ward for violence prevention? $37 million? I don't think there's been a $37 million investment in anything black.
When these amendments to the budget and when these programs come before us, and I've asked the last time that these were proposed by the administration, what metrics are we using to ensure that everyone with their hand out was not still enabling gangbangers in the middle of the night? and oftentimes have intervened on behalf of gangbangers, particularly in the Latino community. When you see in other communities, like the Black community, when you start doling out contracts to, say, Metropolitan Family Services, and now they're responsible for doling out to organizations to come into neighborhoods like, for example, West Englewood, contract out to organizations that have no connection to a community, build no bridges to a neighborhood, but get $300,000 to stop violence.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
WIIFTBP.
Wasted on you. From the beginning, you see my world spinning, just a tasting guide. Wasted on you. Vision was blurry, the mood got me working, and my feelings got loose. Let's just forget I was just playing. Can we move on and have a good night? Let's just forget unless you're sane, then you might think about us time to time. Let's just forget don't know why I'm waiting. Don't entertain if it ain't right. But let's just say you feel the same. I wouldn't hesitate. Wasted on you. Hours and hours trying to figure out what power makes me feel like I do. Wasted on you. I keep on fighting, but the more I try to hide it, more that you can see through. Let's just forget I was just playing. Can we move on and have a good night? Let's just forget unless you're saying that you might think about us time to time. Let's just forget don't know why I'm waiting. Don't entertain it if it ain't right. Let's just say you feel the same. I wouldn't hesitate. Wasted on you. Wasted on
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq,
and Cassiopeia.
and we need you to like,
Comment
and share
that thing
every Tuesday and Thursday from 1
to 3 p.m. on
What's in it for the Black People Media.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up to seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ruthie Moore. I can't do that. I can't because it sounds like too much like the Moo Annoying piece.
And after you told me they weren't black owned, I just said,
All right, now let me tell y'all, the phone lines are open. Give us a call, 872. Ruthie, you do it because you be doing this.
872-259-7474.
That's right. Now, I want to let you all know if you are tuned in, you're watching, you are listening today at 8 o'clock for our social media viewers only. Social media exclusive. We got former Illinois Governor Rod. Is he Rodney?
I thought it was Roderick.
Is it Rodney? Rodney or Roderick? Those are both. We got to ask him, is it, because black people, like Rodney. I don't know any. Do you know any white Rodneys?
No.
You know any white
Rodney
Roderick?
Dangerfield.
That's it. You know any white Rodericks?
No.
So maybe his name is Robert. What's the derivative of Rod? We have to figure that out. We're going to ask him.
It's Rod.
Okay, it's Rod. Just call me Rod. Like, that's just like it's Maze. Just call me Maze. Right? Maze, huh? All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my girl, Ruthie Moore, in the building. And Sonia Escobar. Y'all there encouraging me to make... What is it?
Milrod.
What does that say? Milrod. Elrod?
Milorad.
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 Milorad. We're going to have to ask him what that is. What's his name? Ruthie wants me to normalize menstruation in the men's bathroom.
What you talking about?
They left me a note, y'all. I was like, I thought it was an Whiz joke.
I didn't see nothing.
And I was like, and they wrote it in red with a bunch of periods on it.
I'm glad you got the how I was trying to do that.
Normalize. See,
I
represent.
tried.
I'm representing. From now on, Ruthie.
Honestly, I wish I could draw.
This is for the normalization. The red dot is now the normalization. It is our symbolization of the normalization. So whenever you see the red dot over my shoulder, do not think Biggie and Warning. Think about the normalization.
The red line.
No, don't think about the red line. Forget the trains. Think about the normalization of the period.
Thank you,
It's
Maze.
sort of like the Charmin commercials. Have y'all listened to the Charmin commercials at all?
Mm-hmm. With the bears?
Yes. So
they're so cute.
It's so funny because it's like you're not supposed to talk. They told us we're not supposed to talk about using the bathroom, so we made a song. This is what I think, Ruthie. I got to make up a cool jingle. Okay. Get your Tampax, and then we get the axe, and then we make it flat. Something cool.
No.
Rap. Who would be the rap spokesperson for like tampons and?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right, Queen Latifah. No, well, she would be the.
It would definitely. That's a good one.
See, I'm just telling you. Oh, you know who would be good?
I don't really
MC Light.
Yeah, MC Light would be good.
You're not using too much, are you, hun?
And the baby's so cute. The baby.
Ultra Soft is so
but have you heard the rap, the song, My Charmin, and keep your booty clean? I was like,
it's a good marketing campaign.
It is, because I'm gonna tell you, it did make me go get Charmin, and it really is a difference. Just telling you.
No,
if you
really.
don't know,
them little quilted pockets.
Lord have mercy, Jesus. I'm gonna tell you that Charmin.
When your tissue got options, that's how you know. Because one side is something and the other side is something else.
See, but you can't get the lotion kind, because the lotion kind of get you they give you
tissue with the lotion.
Yeah, you shouldn't put that on your private
stuff.
areas.
Okay. We normalizing everything today, Dad. We talking about you. Shoot, I mean, I'll be able to turn on TV commercials during the View now. Well, y'all talking?
I can't watch that.
I mean, I'd be like, oh no, not the View, not the View commercials. It'd be like the View commercials be like, and now for the next thing that can make me uncomfortable.
Listen, we try to like make men feel so comfortable that they use the blue liquid instead of using red in the commercials.
Right.
You ever notice that it's always blue?
What liquid?
When they're trying to show the absorbency. It should be red, but it's blue to make people be like, oh. See, just because of that reason right there.
But you got a naked woman on a car to sell a burger.
But it's well done. Not rare. Just saying. Don't really care for the.
I don't watch TV.
Okay, so we just normalizing everything. I'm saying, what the heck? I'm not tripping. I'm just thinking, like, one day this would make me ask another question. If this was, I really wish this is when we need Reese at 8 at night. This needs to be a 9. I got a 9 o'clock question.
We're talking about science.
Okay, I got a 9 o'clock question about.
I know
science.
where you're going. Yes, he would. Just keep it right there.
Nope.
What about regular, just general in general?
I think it depends on what you into.
What?
Depends on what you into.
Huh? Okay, well, you know what you're into. It's what comes with it. And
depends what you like.
Depends. That's like the underwear. Not that. I hope you ain't talking about like the adult diaper. Oh God, not that. I didn't go there. Oh, that depends.
We heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Charmin booty smile. I got a charmin booty smile. My ultra soft, so ultra soft. I got a charmin booty smile.
A charmin booty smile.
Charmin ultra soft.
I ain't never heard this.
I'm grinning cheek to cheek.
Cheek to cheek.
Charmin booty smile.
Booty smile.
Charmin Ultra Soft is softer than ever. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Enjoy the go. Enjoy the flow.
Can I tell you what though? One of my most
booty
peaceful.
Smile.
That's horizontal though. That's vertical, right? How can your booty smile? You got to be looking at it sideways.
I think it's after you use such high quality tissue, it makes your booty smile. I think that's where they're going.
Oh.
But the quality of the toilet paper matters, right?
I guess it just depends on what you're into.
Hey, once you go back, once you like, I can't use this.
Yeah, that's Scott 1000 or something. Ugh.
Hold on. I'm just telling you, I was a Costco guy. And Carrie used to get mad at me all the time when we go to Costco. I'm like, it's no difference.
In them big old packs.
Yep. I'd be like, Costco and Sherman make the Costco brand. You just want the red package.
That's the guest tissue.
And then
I swap it out every time.
That's a kid's tissue.
Not the guest tissue.
That's the guest tissue.
The guest you got to give the guest good tissue.
No.
Otherwise, they use too much.
They be like, what is this? How many sheets do you get to use? See, this is why you're supposed to be here on Friday. Because this is a Friday show. This is not a Thursday show. We got too much to talk about. Ruthie, goodness gracious. Could you imagine?
Vacation mode.
Well, I'm telling you, we are in vacation mode. Ain't none of this nowhere on the papers. And we all talk about, y'all done got us the monument to we have normalized we done took it. It's like the red line. From now on, when you think of the red line.
Good one.
Think of that as the normalization. When you say red line, don't think of black home ownership or the lack thereof.
I thought you were talking about the train.
Yeah. That's that too. I said don't think when you think red line, don't think about the red line now as a monument to women all across the world, and salute to the period.
Awesome.
I'm looking at the green dot too.
That means you need to go to the clinic.
No, I need to go to the fridge.
No, I was thinking the green dot means no. If you got a green, if anything's green, I'm gonna advise you to visit your neighborhood clinic.
Well, it depends on what neighborhood you live in.
Okay. This morning's show is brought to you by the makers of every product that make you uncomfortable to talk about. So if you want to talk about toilet paper, hey, you want to make your booty smile? This moment was brought to you by Charmin. And if you really want to feel uncomfortable, for all the men out there, this last segment was brought to you by Tampax, and I still don't know what the difference between any of it is. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We are moving right along. I want to go back, though, Ruthie, to why should we be protecting liquor stores? Staying open at 10. Can we open up the phone lines? 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. The only reason this really caught my eye again, and I tell you when you start seeing things, you know that there's a buried treasure somewhere. When you start to see the white boys get up and say, we about to make history, that means to me that there is a buried treasure somewhere, and we're not negotiating strong enough. Right? So, tell me who in the liquor industry that we need to protect or we help or hurt with 10 o'clock sales, the end of 10 o'clock sales. How does that help or hurt us? It really doesn't. Quite frankly, it helps us because probably those locations that create negative traffic would be most impacted by this. And I'm not talking about the larger packaged goods stores. I'm talking about them corner stores that foster all the stuff that you don't want happening in your neighborhood after 10 o'clock.
Man, you're right.
Now,
the Ice House. I go to Lake and Cicero.
So when you think about who now my question is, who are we protecting with this? We ain't protecting no black businesses, really. But I want to understand what makes the alderman so confident that with 20 black aldermen, he is so confident that they can get to a majority. The same alderman that just blocked DuSable. What? Help me. Give us a call, 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474. And I want to be clear, I'm not on the prohibition thing. I'm just saying before we jump off the cliff, obviously this is historically important to white people. This is historically important to white people and to people who operate these locations in our neighborhoods. They ain't complaining because they can't sell chips. They didn't say they can't sell chips and pop after. They didn't even say they couldn't sell blunts after 9, after 10. So now, who are we really hurting by ending alcohol sales at 10 o'clock? I'm not suggesting that we need to go backwards, but I do suggest we need to be asking what's in it for the black people. Again, Who in this mix is so powerful that they are willing to bring? The last time a mayor has been denied a vote by the city council was Harold Washington. Even as terrible as this mayor is, she has still not lost. Help me understand. And who are we negotiating for? Who are the sides? And the unfortunate part is the mayor is on the side that is our bargaining chip. But she ain't going to talk to you. She's not going to talk to black people. The deal will be made between whites and Arabs and Indians for us. The white people will make the decision for the white neighborhoods. The Arabs and Indians will make the decision for the black neighborhoods. Where do we fit in this debate? Who do we have to protect in the liquor industry? Again, Wally, Eddie, what do Wally and Eddie do in our neighborhoods? I will give you, and I'm not gonna trip. A&S, he is invested in every black business on that strip. I'm gonna call it like I see it. Mm-hmm. So I ain't gonna trip on him. But even if he has to, again, that's one of those cases where he cool. But for the greater good, what are we getting? Who is in the liquor negotiation on behalf of black people? So my question is, what does your neighborhood liquor store put into your community? Not take out. What does it put into your community? Do they sponsor the Little League team? You know how you go into the cleaners and they got 20 different Little League plaques? Minimal contribution. Tell me what Wally has supported in your neighborhood. Tell me what any one of those $10 liquor stores have supported in the after 10 liquor stores have supported in your neighborhood. So when we talk about all this outrage, who's outraged? Now, I will tell you that part of this is a benefit to who? The restaurant industry, who has emerged as one of the most powerful lobbies in the city of Chicago. Who is the mayor trying to please? The Restaurant Association. Because why? Because if I stop packaged liquor sales downtown with all of these tourists, so instead of you going to the hotel, buying your bottle and going to the hotel and getting nice and then coming and buying 2 drinks, now you're going to go buy your packaged cocktail to go from the local neighborhood bar that's down there that still gets to sell until 2 o'clock in the morning. In the same downtown area where you can't open up your own nightclub or bar or restaurant. Same white alderman said, keep them ninjas out of here. Put up a fence. Same area where they said your kids can't be downtown past 4 o'clock unescorted. That's Brian Hopkins. But same group. Who's the alcohol industry lobby? And I really hate to be the jerk. But y'all, our outrage is over the ability to consume. It is not the ability to produce, to make money. We outraged because just like we fought for cannabis dispensaries, the brothers, because they wanted to be able to go to the white boy store and buy. Not go to and build and go to our own dispensary. I could see if we were fighting for this wealth of liquor stores. And here's what will happen. They will put the 2 people in front of us that own black liquor stores and say, you will hurt them. Instead of saying, no, Wally, if you shut Wally, then Wally can't make all that money. All of y'all need to be going to them earlier in the day. But again, what they will do is go find 2 black people, put them in front of us, and say, this is why we can't do it, because we're going to hurt these 2 people. No shade to those two people. But Femo, if the benefit, if we negotiating the whole multi-billion, so let's just say that changing that rule changes $500 million in taxes. If $500 million is, let's just say $100 million. Let's say the taxes on alcohol sales over the course of a year is $100 million. Let's just say that. Let's keep it limited. My question becomes, are one or two people, are we going to allow the negotiations of one or two people for them out of the $100 million that's made, they make $20,000. So we give up the $100 million negotiation over $20,000. Let's say 50. Let's say $200,000. So they're like, we'll give you, put these guys in front of us. Nobody wants to see them hurt because they the only ones in the business. And now I got to give up $200 million in revenue because y'all could put two guys that y'all ain't really blowing up. You really fighting. If he wasn't there, you wouldn't even have no argument. And it ain't like y'all been trying to help that business. So I think when we look at this, and I want to talk to our friends out there. And just recognize that this fight, we don't necessarily have a dog in this fight. And this is another one of those. So out of this, are we going to create a plan to create more black-owned liquor stores in black neighborhoods? Does this plan include buyouts? Does this include for this, can we say before we fight to open this up, y'all either got to give us a percentage of the liquor stores we'll buy? But something. Like, all the black folks can't get on board for Wally and Eddie. They can't. Because you're not, two black people in business ain't enough for us to be like, we going to make sure that these people keep on. Tell me what liquor store has given back to your neighborhood. Even Kenwood, who we made multi-billionaires, they took their business and went to the suburbs after they took all the money out y'all community. They said, we ain't rebuilding. We got enough. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to take a quick break. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. I probably done made y'all mad, so y'all, I know y'all got the hookup. Wally come in, he be like, what's up, homeboy? You want your pint? I got you. Meanwhile, your little daughter's walking in the store to come get some now and laters, and they trying to pull them in the back. These people ain't been your friends. Don't act like they are now. I'm just saying, who you fighting for? Who are we fighting for in this argument? And I'm not going to let my disdain for the mayor allow me to give up all of that negotiation power. What are the Black Caucus going to get to make it 10, or what the white boys going to give you, or what are all of these people that's going to lobby? And then here's the last part I got to ask you. Black elected officials, how many people coming to see you for these Arab stores are black lobbyists? Did they hire black lobbyists, or did they go hire the white boy to tell you that I got the better relationship? And so even Wally, as he finances the BS that happens in your community, that creates the den of iniquities that happen outside of your stores, when it's time to even for us to benefit to lobby on this bad boy, they done went and got some Mexican or some other guy, and I don't mean that, a Latino lobbyist. Again, if I see Mike Alvarez showing up as I'm saying, why? So Mike Alvarez is going to go lobby all the black elected officials and then go to the licensing person and be like, here's what's good for your community. Who black is in the conversation? Like right now, if every liquor store ain't went and hired a black lobbyist, and all of them got money. It should be this should be a plethora of money and economic benefit happening for black people in the political realm. If Anthony Beckham, if Omari, if Chad Hoosier. If all of these young black lobbyists ain't participating in this negotiation and y'all letting this white boy who come and be rich for $200 and this money is moving. Trust me when I tell you, money is moving. And if you ain't making no black people rich, if you standing up arguing about it, but they can't, it's two sides. We got to win some kind of way. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Broken screen? Crash system? Are you in need of spyware or virus removal from your computer? Well, contact RPC Computer Repair in South Shore and let us help you with all your computer repair services and print needs. Need office or print production services, copies, scans, fax, or even notary service? Then stop by and support RPC Computer Repair and Print Shop located 1741 East 71st Street in the 71st Street corridor, newly revitalized South Shore areas, and let RPC be your one-stop shop, where we believe RPC is your PC. RPC Computer Repair is also a UPS access point where you can drop off and pick up your important packages. So let RPC be of service to you. Call RPC Computer Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. at 773-966-4457. That's 773-966-4457. Visit RPC at rpccomputeringinc.com for more information.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at the Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
WIIFTBP. I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ruthie Moore, who I'm not talking to. Shout out to Sonia Escobar. Ruthie talking about if men had periods, we'll be asking for FMLA every month.
I know y'all would.
She talk about family menstrual leave.
Listen, every break I'm going to throw in something else until you say, okay,
I gave you the red dot.
I quit talking about it.
I gave you the red dot in the studio. Now Ruthie fellas, Ruthie said that she want to change the color on the commercials now from blue to red.
Oh yeah, I did say that. Yeah, really. Accurate representation.
Yeah, okay. Yummy.
I'm just.
I hope they don't put it anywhere next to my food. Like they cannot put any food in that commercial break there. They can't. They cannot.
I'm just trolling you, Maze.
I know, but it's okay. I'm just telling you. I'm trollable on this issue. I'm trollable. All right, y'all, let's go to the phone lines, though, because I need to understand who are we fighting for in the fight to save liquor sales after 10 o'clock. I'm not suggesting that we need prohibition. I'm not even saying that I don't think you should be able to buy liquor after 10 o'clock. But I do want to know, who are we fighting for in this fight? Who owns the black liquor stores? Because there's only really one or two that I know of. Who are going to be the lobbyists? Because, again, what you're going to find is these white guys going to get all the Arab corner stores, and they're going to hit them all up for $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 a month. So you're going to see a flood of loose squares in your neighborhood, right? And you're going to see everything. Let me go to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the Maze Jackson Show. Sonia, put up the caller because we ain't got that name. Caller, you're on the Maze Jackson Show. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Caller, that's you.
Yeah,
You're here.
Yeah, am I a speaker?
Yes. Go ahead, caller.
Oh, yeah, how you doing? Hey, listen here. To get a wider perspective on the spirits sales in the black community, you kind of got to get some historical perspective. You know, you have Seagram's, which controls most of the distilleries in the United States, owned by the Bronfman family, a Jewish family, incidentally. Now, the Wirtz family controls most of the distribution throughout the state. You can go up by 55, and you'll see, some of their distribution centers right off, the route coming up to Chicago. And so you need to get a sense of their impact and influence on who can lobby these politicians and have the money to do that. And that's the reason why these other groups of people have these inroads into the black community. Also, London and the UK has a strong influence on the distilleries in the United States. They were the ones back during Prohibition that was doing it up in Canada and distributed throughout the United States. And those same distribution lines were used to send drugs into the neighborhoods as well. So, getting back to that, I know it sounds far-fetched, but Seagram's, you go all over the black community, and all that advertisement that you see, that's Seagram's, owned by the Bronfman family. You need to get to that source and talk with them and see what you can do about getting ownership of some of the liquor stores and spirit stores in the black community. That's my comment.
Thank you, my brother. I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy is, remember, the liquor stores used to be owned by the Jewish community. Remember when I told you about the largest cannabis company now in the country, GTI? Remember, and I told you about Ben Kovler and his family sold. They were the original distillers of Jim Beam from Prohibition, which you just talked to. And they sold their company to a Japanese firm for $17.9 billion so that they could take part in what became the newest, what they call Prohibition 2.0, cannabis. So I think there are historical connections, and I think we got to get to that. But I got to talk about what's happening right now in city council. And what's happening right now in the city is that there are billions of dollars at stake. There are billions of dollars. I'm saying that if all the black radio ain't playing radio spots on both sides, if we ain't seeing TV commercials, if they just gonna try and pull it for this multi-billion-dollar effort that's going to keep white folks rich, and white folks rich at the corporate level, and them guys from Palestine rich locally.
Hold on one second, because I just Googled what he said, and I suggest y'all Google it. So it's how do you spell the name? BRONFMAN. First paragraph on Wikipedia, it says that the family is perhaps the largest single force in the Jewish charitable world.
Ruthie,
so spot on, caller.
Ruthie, you about to mess up, yo.
I just Googled. I literally just Googled. I'm on Wikipedia.
Yo,
it's
Ruthie,
your
future husbands around here, like, you can't be selling us out.
I mean, but he was spot on with what he just said, and so This is how you spell it again, people. It's BRONFMAN. Bronfman family.
Did y'all watch that story about the opioids? That was the same thing. A Jewish family did that with the opioids too, and they were the largest contributor, but they created the opioid crisis. But they had charitable contributions. Sounds like somebody's at the door or in the building. Probably Channel 7 or Governor Blagojevich. But y'all know we got, for everybody that is tuned in on WBGX, I want you to remember, at 8 o'clock for our social media viewers only, we will be talking to former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. Let me go to the phone lines. Frank, Brother Frank, you on the Maze Jackson Show. Should we be fighting to keep these liquor stores open past 10 o'clock? And how does that benefit black people?
It doesn't. Good morning to everyone. So H to the null. Brother Mace, you are on fire once again. Now, I can understand and see if we still had control of our economic ends, like back in the days, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, they started getting destroyed. All the liquor stores, the restaurants, and even the gas stations were owned by blacks. We even had what you call taverns. Those are corner like lounges with like little to older adults would be there and playing the blues. You know what I'm saying? All of that is gone. All right? I don't give a rat's tutu about this man, and I don't give a rat's tutu about her closing these stores down early. That means they got less time to make money off of us and they're not putting it in our community. We still going to be able to buy booze out there after 10 o'clock because you know how the bootleggers, they're going to make some money now. Okay? Now, I don't give a rat's tutu about none of that. This is not our fight. Let these dogs fight among themselves. As far as the Seagram question, approaching Seagram and asking them to cut us in, you know what I'm saying? They're going to say, H, no, and get your black glass out of here. And just like what you just said last man, even with all these cyber attacks that's going on in our major companies, and I don't want anything bad happen to me. I don't give a rat's tutu about rushing them, tapping all this, because we own none of them anyway. And they don't want to hire us. Now, maybe they took to them millions that they got paid ransom on. You know what I'm saying? And hire some black engineers and technologies. We can figure out how to put a firewall up to block all this. But no, they want to keep blacks off, so I hope they keep on tapping to them. Brother Mays, you know what I'm saying? It amazes me, not only with this liquor store, but all across from A to Z. We own Jack, okay? So I could care less about. And these Arabs, they're not supposed to be selling booze anyway, Brother Mays. 99.9% of them are Muslims. I know just about the Islamic scriptures, and I do the Christian scriptures. Allah says, curses those who crush the grapes of wine, curses those who sell the wine, curses those who drink it. In the Holy Prophet, none of them Arabs back there are drinking any of the booze that they serving to us and serving up this poison. So that's what led to selling. He's supposed to be selling booze anyway. And last night, we had a shootout over here by my house on Kansas and Franklin in the liquor store. All them Arabs back there, they say behind that glass everything. See, they mentality. Tell them, let them kill each other. All because the girl decided she was a 39. That's what that shootout was about over there. So they don't care about the poison that's given to us. They don't care what it's doing to us. They don't care about 7 to 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, we're going to get attacked each other. So screw them. This is not our fight. Okay? This is not our fight. And brother, you on fire because you are laying it out.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, my brother and my sisters.
Thank you. That is Brother Frank. He is the president of the phone club, too. Brother Frank been on fire last week. You know what I'm saying? I'm so concerned that we are about to get suckered into this whole... They talked us out of having liquor in our communities, and they shut down all of our bars and taverns and nightclubs and made us to believe that black folks having a drink is a bad thing. But if I go on Milwaukee Avenue, if I go on Division, if I go downtown, if I go to Rush Street, I see people drinking, teetotaling, and having a really good time. Are we less responsible? Are we not able to? And again, you think about closing the liquor stores for the places when they close this thing. Let me back up. I don't want to be in the fight for liquor stores. If we ain't got no black lobbyists, let me just tell y'all, if I see somebody other than black talking about why we got to protect Wally and Eddie in the black neighborhood and the black folks vote for that and they don't say, y'all better, Wally and Eddie, if Wally and Eddie If the people that shop at the Tops and Bottoms and all of these places aren't smart enough to go get the people that they make money off of to market for them or to save their businesses, then what? Again, here is an opportunity to bring that community to the table as black people. Think about if the Black Caucus said, hey, wait, hold on. If every Black Caucus member made every one of the stores in their community come and meet with them and come up with what their community benefits plan is, even if it was, y'all can't even, we ain't with it till y'all sponsor every baseball and football team in this neighborhood. Give it back. But just to say we're going to allow y'all to keep on pimping our neighborhood for nothing? For nothing. Your vote, there has to be an advantage somewhere for you to be black. And I'm not going to expect that white folks are going to be like, oh, because you're black. But if you can't have an advantage as a black person with black people, when do we win? You will never have remember during the burn downs and when the uprising happened, and then we saw all of the corner stores come up and they was like, we do so much good for the community. No, what y'all do is y'all help the pretty girls do finance their thing and you put them in business, but you ain't really helping the community. They had us standing up there supporting them. They were like, we are the only people that will come to your neighborhood and give you groceries. I appreciate your grade D meat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the fact that in order to get to the grade D meat, the 12-year-old girl has to walk past the pedophile who has got 6 kids in our neighborhood running around. I apologize. I apologize to the guys that are selling the loose squares in our neighborhood when you mad about the loose squares and we know all of this. And we're about to go up and defend them for nothing. Nothing. I'm asking you, tell me your neighborhood joint that gives back to the community. Let me go to the phone line. Lee, you're on the Mace Jackson Show. What's up, brother? If I lost it, I know I'm crazy, man. I want too much for black people sometimes. What am I thinking, man? Lee, did I lose you? He gone? Lee, it says you still there, man. Take yourself off of mute. Morning. Lee must have hung up on us. He probably doing something else. Ruthie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I did not mean to offend the homies. I know that we get so much out of the corner store. If it wasn't for the corner store, the black community would have no business. There would be nobody that would provide growth. Like, here's my thing. Can we make in addition to being able to sell after 10 o'clock, can we require that they carry certain products, including feminine products, for free? I'm just playing.
Here you go.
No, I'm not tripping. But I'm saying like this. I do think
remember the whole food deserts. Access to fresh fruits, and so now with the liquor you can get some strawberries and some tomatoes. And that is their contribution to the community. But now we don't.
But they mark them tomatoes and things up.
I know.
Times 500. So
I know. I'm with you. I don't necessarily think that it would be a loss to our communities. If you have ever experienced, like, some people go into liquor stores to get a bottle, whatever they want to get, some chips, whatever. Sure. But I mean, after a certain time of night, I do think that the congregation that happens outside of liquor stores sometimes can be a catalyst to some of the more unsavory elements in certain communities.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Ruthie. I feel like that's my point, right? 100% Fifth Thursday.
I don't know too. I've been asking black people about this, and I mean, the people I've been asking don't really seem to be opposed to it. And I think it's because we are under siege sometimes in our communities with no options, no outlets, no way to recycle our own dollar. And so I do think that the social aspect of hanging out in front of the liquor store, like, that's like a thing. People do it all the time.
No, 100%. And I also think that there's a point. Did I freeze? Oh no. There's also a point when we're looking when at the liquor store where it does become risky.
I mean, so if you all right, so what I noticed is
Yo,
that
shut
some
it!
people but they use liquor stores as part of their turf. And so we can go into that conversation, but that's really what it is. Is this my turf? This what we kick it at, like. And for the liquor stores, it's kind of a win-win for them because it gives them a certain level of quote unquote security. Mm-hmm. And it also gives them a place where, you know, if you out on the corner, you can set up shop right there. You quote unquote protecting this Arab business.
And you can step inside when the police come.
Yeah, remember the ordinance for them having to take down all of the window advertisements, how you couldn't see in, and they kind of created like an ordinance where it's like you have to create some space to be able to see in the stores. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's a whole lot that goes into liquor stores and turf and gang activity and all of that good stuff.
So smart.
Sometimes I hate it though. I want to shut my brain off.
I know the feeling. I wanted to shut my brain off yesterday when I went to that event. I was like, really? You mad at me? Mm. You mad at me? So y'all, they made $3 billion and you mad at me. And if y'all co-signing that BS because you think you going to be the next, it's like, it reminds me of Reddy saying people just want to, they don't want freedom. They just want to be the new oppressor. Oh, she says that all the time in the thing. And that's what like, yo, we not clapping for you.
It's heavy.
But it's like, I started to see people the same people that kind of helped us get cut out. Anyway, let's go to Roosevelt. Roosevelt, you're on the Maze Jackson Show. Am I crazy about these liquor stores? What's going on, my brother?
Hi, Brother Maze. How are you?
I'm good, brother. Working hard. I can hear you.
Okay. You know, I am just always amazed at the knowledge that you provide to our people. And it is so pathetic that we have not conveyed to our black leaders that we are behind them, and whatever monies that they might be getting from these other folk, if you would, that same money could be garnered by black folks standing behind our politicians. I know they want to do right, but they're afraid they don't have the machinery, and they got to live. And somehow or another, we have to gain control of our community and community control who operates in our community. But we seem to have lost that. And to that earlier, the families, if we told that liquor distributor, we're not going to buy anymore one day, we get our people just to sign up one time and open the door for every other time because they know that we are a political force. We operate as a whole. And God knows, I hope before I die, I live to see black folks step up and say, you other folk cannot establish value for me. I must establish value for the things that I own. And that's what they do. They come into our community, they establish value, say, this is what we're going to give you for your property, your fortunes. And we somehow never just go along with it. So may keep up the good work. God bless you, and I love you. Bye.
Thank you, Roosevelt. God bless you, and I love you, too. I love my audience. I love the ability that we have to impart some knowledge. We're going to have to wrap this up for all of the people that are tuned in on WBGX. We will be talking to former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. He's off papers. He'll be on at 8 o'clock. So we're going to be sitting down and having a conversation with him. Ruthie, but I was just thinking in context to what Roosevelt just said. And I'm going to just tell y'all this really quickly. Yesterday, I went to Senator Hendon's post-press conference. I wasn't at the press conference because I wanted to stay out of their cameras and let them have their moment. Mm-hmm. And when I got there, it was interesting to see. When I first got there, I saw some people that I've known for years who were involved in this whole process. And I actually came in and was trying to be like, cordial. Hey, welcome, hug. Mm-hmm. It was like, hold on. And I was thinking to myself, now this was a person that was intimately involved in the cannabis debacle that we have. And she had an attitude with me for pushing the issue even though they gave the white boys a $3 billion head start. And I came really to say, not to say, look, that was what happened before, but we got to move forward, and I'm glad to see. And it's like, hold on, you mad because you helped the white people get ahead, and now you got an attitude with me. And here's what caught me off guard, was to watch black people who were there to defend that because they're hoping to get close to her so that they can be the next. But if we wouldn't have pushed, there would have been no next at all.
Oh, okay.
So now you trying to be all up in her face, trying to be cool with her because now they're trying to get what wrong they made right, and you dogging the people that was in the fight. Who they would have never made the move if people didn't keep the pressure on them. Look, y'all, we got to be smarter. Sonia, I want you to give us some Dante. We're going to take a quick break. Ruthie's got to get out of here. Say goodbye to all to the WBGX family, and tune in. Governor Rod Blagojevich, former Governor Rod Blagojevich, will be in here with us very, very shortly. Ruthie, you got anything before you go?
I just want to say, I think sometimes people listen to your show. They take mental notes to say, when I see Maze, this is what I'm going to do. So they like practice in the mirror and, so that could have been some residual, who knows where it came from.
Just
so
do
don't
good
take it
by
personal.
black people.
Don't take it personal,
Just
Maze.
do better.
Don't take it personal.
Ruthie, thank you. I appreciate you. Hey, y'all, and I'm sorry you ain't going to be here for Christmas. I want some cake and punch. You tripping.
You already know, but when I come back, though, I'm going to be
righteous. We gonna all be together because we're gonna have our head together. Look, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Saturday, June 19th, 2021. Grab the family and join the Woodlawn for the second annual Juneteenth Block Party. Join the Woodlawn team for a day of vendors, activities, DJs, live music and broadcasts, rooftop experiences, and much more. Vendor space is still available. For tickets and more information, please visit www.thewoodlawn1200.com. That's www.thewoodlawn1200.com. We do this for the culture.
Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq.
And Cassiopeia.
Motivated by the days, the sandwiches of spam. Grilled cheese won't stop me from grilling those who are stealing the peace and safety of the community because they releasing death and destruction on the community. A community where the people look like me and them. A place where mom and them stay. Not too far from where their children stay. You right. I want a peaceful neighborhood, and I'm not moving to the suburbs to have a peaceful neighborhood. Do we really have to take this, acting like we don't recognize this, still cooperate with this? You know what? The hell with this. Ram me behind a mic that's shaped like a middle finger. Pointing straight up with my middle finger to any poor politician, dealer, deaf, crooked cop, or lazy parent. It's apparent to create change, you have to have a work ethic that make it seem like you lost your brain, standing out like the Willis Tower. It's a brother that represents dedication, discipline, and dream reaching, accompanied by a voice called power. Who rhyming harder than a rebel with the pen? Representing the city of Point Guards is an extra large MC who rhymes always on point, always rhyming with a point behind the flow. One of my students said the rhyme so hard we should stop calling it flow. Let me tell you something else before I go. I was born to stand tall. I was born in Chicago.
That is Brother William Morris. Appreciate you, brother. Much love. Chicago, homegrown. Every Tuesday and Thursday from 1
to 3 p.m. on
What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIIFTBP.
What about my love? Seems you have forgotten us. I do believe that something went wrong somewhere. What about my feelings? Do they mean anything at all? You got me so in love.
Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Before you leave out the door, before you leave out the door, baby, won't you change your mind? Really wish you would change your mind. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, you got me standing on shaky ground. Now that you got my love, you don't come around. Now that you got all my love, you got me standing on shaky
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up the seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I don't got my co-host, Ruthie Moore. She busted out on me. Todd, no call, no show. He want to text me. So can somebody help Todd understand? You can tell Todd, typical Chicago politician, show up when he want to show up. I was like, Todd, no call, no show? I found out he sent me a text at like 7:30 telling me he wasn't going to be here at 6 a.m. Shout out to Todd Stroger. Shout out to my girl, Sonia Escobar, who is in the building, always rocking. Shout out to my man, Loch Ness Monster. But I got to tell y'all what. In the studio, right here, back live in the flesh, We were one of the very first interviews he did when he came home. And now, here it is a little bit over a year later, and he is finally off the papers. He is finally off the papers. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, depending on who you talk to, some people love him, some people not so much. But I always feel like whenever he comes to our community, seems like he's got a home. Hey, y'all, I am honored and once again blessed to have in the studio former Illinois Governor Rod. Now, Rod, we've been trying to figure this out. So is it Rodney? Is it Roderick? What is it, man? Rod Blagojevich, welcome back, man. We glad to see you. Glad to have you in the studio, man. And I see you got the perfect coif still.
Thank you, Mace. It's great to be back. And it was so nice.
Tune that up to your tilt that up
like
to
that.
Yeah. There,
Hello, Mace, and thank you so much for having me. Been a long time.
About a year, man.
Yeah, a little bit more than a year. You were the first interview I did, in radio.
Hey.
After I came home, and I haven't seen you because of COVID.
Good God, man, the COVID. So you get out, you come home. I'm gonna tell you, I think that if you would have came home and there was no COVID, I think you probably might have had a parade somewhere. Somebody might have been like, let's throw a Rod Blagojevich party. So we really haven't seen you out and about with that electric personality and charisma that you had. But yeah, it seems like you still got a lot of that fire and a lot of energy. When I first saw you, man, you were still trying to get your footing, it seemed like. I think you had been institutionalized. Would you say you've been institutionalized?
Well, I don't know about that, but I was sheltering in place for 8 years in prison.
I like that, sheltering in place for 8 years in prison. But you're home now, and you've been home for over a year. Before we even get into this, man, you have shared a lot of commonalities with people in our community, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But one of them is re-entry.
Yes.
Coming home and being reintroduced to society. I want you to go backwards, because I don't know if we really got to this, but tell me what it's been like over this last year, having been gone away 8 years, your kids grew up, reintroducing, coming back, and getting back into the swing of things. Tell me a little bit about what that's been like over the last year.
It's been a blessing for the most part. It hasn't been as seamless as you might think, I'd sit there in prison for more than 3,000 days, just imagining from time to time I'd indulge myself what it would be like if I ever got home again, right?
Mm-hmm.
They give you a 14-year sentence. You can't even see the flicker of a light at the end of the tunnel, especially when you get started. And so you discipline your mind, and you try not to think too far ahead, because you got to take it one day at a time. But once in a while, I sit on my top bunk in that little 6x8 foot prison cell I was in. They put me in the higher security prison.
Hey, you went to wait. You went you didn't go to the country club. You went to the Max joint?
I went to the so-called country club, the camp, after 32 months. The first 32 months I was in what they call the higher security prison behind what they call the razor wire. There were about 950 guys there. There were murderers there, a bunch of gangbangers and drug dealers and bank robbers and con men. 2% were white collar, which would be what a governor would be.
Okay.
And but I would lay up on that top bunk, and I'd look through this window and past the bars on that window late at night, and I'd follow the I'd follow the light of a passing plane flying overhead and imagine myself. I actually closed my eyes and imagined myself on that plane with my 2 daughters and with Patty, my wife, going. It didn't matter where we were going, anywhere but where I was, and anywhere with them would have been just fine with me. And I would then indulge myself and think, well, what would it be like? What will it be like in the event that I ever did get home? I was confident I was going to ultimately make it home, but you never know. I saw some men die in prison. I actually saw them fall dead right there.
Yikes.
And so I would think about it, and you get this idealized vision that it's going to be just
Rosy
nirvana,
yes.
right? And it's been great, don't get me wrong, but my daughters have grown. My little one, Annie, was 8 years old when I left. She's 18 now.
Jesus.
She's going to go to college, and my older one is going to be 25 in August. She was a sophomore in high school when I left. So they're different, and they've grown up. And so getting to know them better and them getting to know me again has been a good problem to have, but it hasn't been so simple, especially for them.
So let me ask a question. Do you think that is similar to a lot of people
Of
that
course.
have re-entered and come back home? Because, I think that there is always the thought that there's going to be this idyllic reunion. But I got teenagers, right?
Yeah.
And so I know what the heck it's like to have a teenager just being there consistently and then trying to come back in. And so I just can't imagine what that was like. So tell me what else you've been up to, man. Tell me what else you've been up to.
Well, I've been busy and I've been lucky. I do this thing called Cameo where people pay me to give shout-outs, right? Which I never knew such a thing existed, and it didn't when I left home on the 15th of March, 2012. You see, that's another thing, Maze. It's humbling when you go through something like that because you ain't so great, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You think that when they take you out of the world's going to stop and wait for you to get back in it. It just keeps spinning around. And then when I got back in it, what do I discover? All this stuff that's changed, like the iPhone, which I'm getting better at, like cameos, which I make a living on partly. I do these cameos. I do these shout-outs where someone says, hey, Blago, can you send a message to my friend? He just got fired, and you know what it's like to go through hard times, right?
So talk to me about that. And
Right.
because this is a cameo like market value based. So like people get to be. So what's your market value, dog? Talk to me. What you making?
Well, Mike Tyson, for example, charges $2,000.
Hey, man.
But hold on, he's a heavyweight champion.
I'm going to kick my ass. So
Huh?
let me stop. Go ahead. So
He charges $2,000 to do a cameo.
Okay.
But he's been a heavyweight boxing champion. Brett Favre charges $500. He's got a Super Bowl ring. I charge $80. I was a former governor, and I've got no Super Bowl ring or heavyweight boxing championship. But, I'll tell you what I like about those cameos. It's really heartwarming. I've done about 2,500 of them. And you get to see how people love one another, how they care about one another. I've been the victim of evil and wickedness. Those prosecutors who did this to me, they're corrupt, they're crooked. They hijacked the governor from the people. I didn't break a single law, cross a single line. And
Hold it.
Go ahead. Go
on.
ahead.
Let me back up.
Go ahead.
You making $200,000 a year doing cameos? That's more than you was making doing being a governor. You said you did 2,500 of them, right?
No, close to 2,500.
Okay, well,
yeah,
but
approaching.
shoot, that you're making governor money.
Close.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Governor money. Yeah, doing cameos.
That's good stuff.
I know who'd have
brother.
thought that, right?
Hey, man, get it how you live.
And I get a lot of these 5-star ratings because they're supposed to be like 30 seconds long. I'll do them for like 9 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes. Yeah, because they give you some information. They want you to talk about, dude just lost his job. Hey, bro, can you give him some words of encouragement? You know what it's like to be down in a deep, dark valley. And so I really get joy out of doing it. And like I said, it just reminds me of all the good that there is in the world. There's a lot more love in the world than there is hate. There's a lot more goodness than there is bad. There is wickedness and evil, of course, but there's more good. And these cameos are a reminder, and it's a way to make a living. And I do other things, too. I've been busy with some other stuff.
I know you got don't you got a podcast going on?
I do have a podcast. It's called Lightning Rod, and I do some consulting work with a company that does logistical transportation in the
good stuff.
trucking industry, which is a whole new world.
I know
for me.
that guy. Go ahead. So Governor, I'm going to tell you, man, for a guy who went through what he went through, even as I was listening to you describe your watching out and the bird flying overhead and being on the plane, you still don't seem to have lost your vigor for life. It seems like you still seem to have a certain level of energy and a certain level of charisma. Talk to me about how you didn't get broken, or did you break in jail?
No, I didn't get broken. Look, I would say a couple of things gave me the strength I needed to endure, to persevere, and to overcome. First, and I would say this to any of your listeners out there who are going through hard times, reach down deep inside of yourself, even when it's really bad for you and you find yourself in the most wretched circumstances. Reach down deep inside of yourself and ask yourself, who's out there that you love? And ask yourself, what is it that they would like you to do? In other words, at some point, you think less about yourself but about others. And for me, it was easy because I had my 2 young daughters and my wife, Patty. And so I had a reason to have to be strong for them, if no other reason. Then the other part of it was, one of the advantages, and I'm not here to say there's anything really good about prison because there isn't, except you do have time to catch up on your reading. And I was able to read the Bible, Maze, in ways I never read it before because I was so busy in the race of life trying to become the governor and trying to get up that high mountain. I always believed in God. I believed in prayer. I was raised, in the Christian faith. But I got closer to God when I was all by myself and all alone. And I just gravitated to his word by reading the Bible every morning. And I would read it slowly and carefully over and over again because I had all that time. I had, like I said, more than 3,000 days. And I would read it sometimes, several times a day. And And it was very inspirational to me. And it gave me not only strength, but it gave me perspective, a better understanding of, how it is that the world works and what it is that God wants us to do to deal with the difficulties. So when Dr. Martin Luther King talks about the object of life really isn't the pursuit of happiness, which is promised to us in the Declaration of Independence, but it is instead to do God's will, trying to discern the mysteries of God and trying to figure out what it is that he'd like you to do. St. Peter said, be worthy of your sufferings. And people like Dr. King and others who've lived great lives and achieved great things were great inspirations to me as well. So it was a combination of the Bible and these people in history, men and women in history who were able to overcome adversity that gave me the strength I needed, coupled with the love I have for my daughters and my wife. And it was not that hard.
So I'm going to take a question from the audience. Talk to me, Governor. What are you?
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Bible verse?
There's so many of them, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I
Give
love
me
this-
one that jumps.
Well, I love the story of Joseph, chapter 50 in Genesis. At the very end, his brother sold him into slavery.
Mhm.
He was sent to prison for something he didn't do.
Mhm.
That story spoke to me. And then, because God gave him the ability to interpret dreams, he was able to come to the attention of the Pharaoh, gave him great advice, became the governor of Egypt, helped his family. Dad dies. The brothers are fearful that Joseph's going to take vengeance on them for what he did. Instead, he said to them, what you meant for evil, God meant for good. And that story is one of my favorite ones.
Dang, bro. So that's a perfect segue into what I want to talk about. So I got a few things. Governor, when you were the governor, let me back up. I remember I became a lobbyist in Springfield during when it was the most tumultuous time when you were in the midst of the impeachment, et cetera. That was literally when I got to Springfield. And I'll be honest with you, I used to sing your praises all the time, right? So
Thank you.
Full disclosure, the largest contract I ever got in the state in my history was during Governor Blagojevich's term at the Department of Transportation. We got the largest community outreach contract that had ever happened. It was $4 million. It was the biggest blessing in my life until it became the biggest curse in my life at that time. But I describe you, I had the perception of you from the perception of black folks, and I had just arrived in Springfield. So we were like, man, Governor Blagojevich is our guy. And when I got to Springfield and I couldn't understand the persecution, there was a whole different way that people who were inside of government perceived you. And as I was down there working, et cetera, I wrote an article and I called you Rodden Hood, right? I called you Rodden Hood. Yeah. And it was because they painted you as a villain. And I was like, it's all good if he a villain. Like, they would say all types of crazy stuff. And I would be like, I don't care how much of a villain he is. That's our villain. Because whatever he taking from the white folks, he is coming over and we see it coming back. And I remember distinctly you had a fundraiser at, I want to say, the Art Institute. And tickets were like $10,000. And I had gotten my big contract and I was fired up and I was like, I got some money and I want to be a player. So I want to buy a table. And I was like, I'm buying tickets. And I distinctly remember, I'm not going to say the name, but I talked to him last night, political operative who was helping raise money. And he was like, brother, we just want you to do good. We'll get you tickets to this event. But we haven't had the opportunity to even participate. Right. You can come to the fundraiser because we're not looking at you all to try and take from you. And I feel like that was why black folks seem to connect to you, whereas the political community didn't. Tell me why there seems to be this perception that you were a governor for black folks as compared to not being a governor for the rest of not being, but black folks have a particular affection for you. And it seemed to me that you were the first person that recognized the value of the black vote and you straight catered to it. Talk to me about that. Or was that real?
Well, I'm really happy about it. And I'm happy that you tell that story about the opportunity you were given. When I became governor, only 2% of the state contracts went to people of color.
So I'm going to just tell you this.
Yeah.
On my show,
yep,
we don't do people of color.
Okay.
So I understand that's the point.
All right.
we are 100% concerned with the issues of black folks. When you say people of color, I want my folks to understand we're talking about black people, because this people of color thing has been a double-edged sword for us. Oftentimes when you talk people of color, then the next thing we know, we got there's a let's say a South Asian engineering firm that winds up taking the people of color space, which when you say people of color, the thought is that it's supposed to be black folks or black and brown. But go ahead. I just want to make sure that we talk about that.
Okay. Well, I mean, 2% of the contracts were
go ahead.
Less than that were even to black people. And when they threw my ass out of the office, you can say that, right?
Yep, you can.
It's early in the morning, but it comes naturally.
That's good. We're off the radio now, so you can go ahead.
Okay, so what happened was by the time that I was removed from office, something like 40% of the contracts went to black firms, women-owned firms, and other firms that had not really had opportunities to enjoy the opportunities in the state. Now, it wasn't that I was trying to not keep white people down. I was trying to lift other people up. And when I think about how gratifying it's been to me and my family that I was able to do things like that for the black community. It wasn't by any design to get votes necessarily, because, when I first ran in the Democratic primary in 2002, Roland Burris, who I made a senator, he got something like 80% of the black vote. Vallis got something like 11%. I got 5% of the black vote. At the second time around, it was a lot different. But during that first term, I was able to do the things I thought were fair and create opportunity for groups of people that have been screwed historically and still are. So that was very good for me personally. I just felt right, that it was the right thing to do. And then, I had a deputy governor, Luana Peters, black woman who's a wonderful person. Had a young woman named Carol Adams, who was a director of the lottery.
Hey, Dr. Adams.
Yes, she passed away. Carol Adams, then Carolyn Adams at the lottery. We had Dr. Adams. We had Eric Whitaker in public health.
Shout out to Dr. Whitaker, who is probably listening right now. Go ahead.
He was recommended by Obama, then State Senator Obama to me. And so I was able to put black people in high positions in government, too, who were highly qualified and did a great job. And that, too, was gratifying. And then when calamity came into our lives, it was always for Patty and for my daughters, Amy and Annie, and for me, we always felt, even in the worst of times, we felt love in the black community. We go to the black churches, and we just wouldn't feel so alone like we did when something like that comes at you. And here again, in the black community, you guys understand what it's like to, face certain people in law enforcement who, they just lie, and they do wrong things, and they persecute. And here again, the black community had an understanding based on your hard experience. So it was a natural affinity. And then my whole life, I've always felt that affinity. Even, my preferences in sports athletes and entertainers were either black or were white guys with a black style, like Elvis.
Not Elvis. So you can't use Elvis.
He never said that about
Elvis.
He didn't say those racist things.
He stole. Well, that's okay, because he stole ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Imitation is. He did.
Imitation is the best way to make flattery unless you broke. Because the people who he took them songs from didn't make no money. We gonna get that back, but that's okay. Governor, now I gotta say this, because here's what I'm gonna tell you. Sonia, you got my piece. So here's the only time that I would say that you made me a little nervous, right? I'm gonna say this, and let me back up. I gotta give a big shout out to Patty Blagojevich. And you cool, but that woman straight held you down. When I tell you she held you down from family, she would drive down to the Bud Billiken parade in the midst of it and be like, here's the signs, could you please? And she never so I got to make sure that we show your wife some love and some props for that. But Governor, there's this moment, because you are like the ultimate, there's so many stories for you. There's so many biblical lessons and all types of stuff. I was thinking about, though, for all of my Robin Hood, there's this moment that we caught on a federal wiretap. Sonia, play it for me.
Of all the African Americans I can think that are sort of qualified and vetted, and people will say, oh, that's a pretty good pick. The one that is least offensive and maybe gets you the most because it gets you that Secretary of State appointment is Jesse White.
Right. Talk to me about What was y'all like? I always envision the two of y'all sitting on the couch at your house. He at his house. He's popping bonbons in his drawers, sitting on the couch. Pow, man. Least offensive. Tell me, how does this conversation come about? Like, and least offensive?
Yeah, I know you're saying it right, and it really says something, I think, about our governor. Frankly, he also said in that conversation, you trying to analyze the politics of it, and if I picked a black person, that'll solve your quote unquote, ready for this, your black problem. That's what he called it, a black problem. I think that reveals a lot about where he's coming from, and it's strictly all politics, not any like sincere desire to be someone who's going to be supportive of a community. I viewed the opportunity to send a black person to the United States Senate as just that, an opportunity. And I was looking for someone who was sort of outside of politics. I was looking for someone who might have had a military record of some sort. I was looking for someone who was different. We talked about Oprah Winfrey for a couple of days. I settled on Roland Burris, and when I say settled, I don't mean to diminish that, because Roland has been a real leader in politics in Illinois, an elder statesman, very well respected. But he wasn't my first thought.
You was going big, dog. I saw it. I saw the list.
Yeah.
Explain to me.
And then I thought about Halle Berry briefly. That was a
Halle
joke.
Berry. Well, she was from here.
No, but I said something really stupid. I can't say it on this, but they played it against me. It had no relevance.
We're gonna have to find that. You'll tell me about that later.
Okay.
Okay. This wasn't in the Slave Master clause, was it?
Oh no. This is very flattering to her. Okay.
Okay. Man,
Yeah.
you can't. First of all, you can't diss Halle Berry because Halle Berry's like.
She's
no
beautiful.
problem, babe. Sorry,
Yeah.
babe. She's not really that beautiful. My wife's watching. Like, she doesn't look that good. She's all right.
Not like your wife.
She's all right. Exactly. All right. So, Governor, I gotta ask now. Tell me about what your opinions are about what's happening in Illinois government right now. I find it ironic that I think they referred to him in the federal documents as himself. I think it's pretty interesting to see what's happening now with Mike Madigan, Mike McLean, and that kind of cabal. Talk to me about that cabal and how it kind of played into your demise, I would say, because I feel like when you got elected, I remember coming down to Springfield. You can go in my office. I got the invitations and everything. But there was sort of like a rejoicing of us coming back to Springfield. It was you, it was Emo Jones, and it was like, I don't know if y'all was tight, but whatever was going on, y'all boxed old boy on 65th Street up. And he was hell-bent. When I say old boy on 65th Street, I'm talking about Speaker Mike Madigan, who probably called you every bit of corrupt and did everything he could to see your demise. And now to find out how much stuff he's been involved in, he's the subject of a federal lawsuit, and to know that our government was his personal piggy bank for him and his magic lobbyist list. Tell me, how does that make you feel when you hear these stories, and does it give you any sense of vindication?
It gives me a lot of vindication. Look, I don't wish him prison. I don't like Madigan. Madigan is the quintessential professional career politician who served himself and his family at the expense of the public. So many great things could have been achieved when we had a Democratic governor. I was the first one in 26 years. We had Emo Jones, the Senate president, black man who understood real life challenges. And you had Madigan with all of his skills as the longest serving speaker in American history. Okay, he'd been there since 1983 as a speaker, been elected first time as a state rep in 72 when he met Mike McLean, his guy. So they had to control the establishment down there. And, I made a lot of enemies. But see, I feel like that's me keeping my promises to bring real change. You ain't changing nothing if you don't make any enemies. You got to go down there and shake things up. If you just go there and say, I'm going to change stuff, but you ain't got no enemies, you haven't changed anything. And we got stuff, all kids for our kids, free public transportation for our seniors.
Them seniors still talking about them free rides, man. But now, Governor, a lot of people said that those were things that you were doing to cater to the black community so that you could kind of protect yourself. How do you respond to that?
Well, first of all, if you're a senior citizen and you're white, you can get a free ride too.
Okay.
All right? It didn't matter what your race was. It was for all of our seniors. Hubert Humphrey said, you can judge the quality of a society by how it treats those in the dawn of life, its children, and how it treats those in the autumn of life, its elderly, and the disabled, in the twilight of life. And, the disabled were the beneficiaries of free public transportation too. Mammograms and pap smears, free for uninsured women, disproportionately black women because of the income
Healthcare
realities.
inequities.
Right? Madigan wouldn't call that bill, so I just did it on my own and said, sue me if you think this is wrong. I used my own executive authority. I did a lot of that. So it was a fight every step of the way. Emil and I did create an alliance that was very helpful to pass a lot of stuff. But fighting Madigan was unnecessary. We could have solved almost all the problems in Illinois. Imagine the things we could have achieved for the black community if we got the capital bill that I wanted, $1 billion of investment in public works inside the south side of Chicago, the west side of Chicago, the south suburbs, the west suburbs, where black people live, East St. Louis, all kinds of places in Illinois where black people live. That would have been jobs and opportunity. The contracts would have gone to black contractors, but Madigan blocked it. That kind of stuff is really disappointing, and it's cynical politics, and it's one of the reasons why today's Democratic Party, in different ways, is letting the people down. And I feel like there's so many things in the black community that can be addressed and solved. Economic empowerment issues, access to credit, the development of investing in black banks to help black businesses grow so people can have jobs. I frankly think there's all kinds of ways to address public safety issues in the black community. How about hiring 10,000 black police officers and have them work in the community fighting the gangs? There are a lot of different things to do. And all of that could have really been easily done when Emil and I were pretty much on the same page, improving the schools. But Madigan blocked a lot of it because he had his fiefdom there, and they were all making millions of dollars. And he had his daughter, Lisa Madigan, as the Attorney General, watching his back the whole time.
Governor, so one of the things when I posted this, when I posted that you were coming on, some of the feedback, people were concerned. He's going to trick you, Mace. First of all, I don't get tricked. My friends are my friends. Nobody picks who I talk to. But one of the things that people said was be careful because Donald Trump let him out, so he's a Trumpster now. And he's going to be bashing the Democratic Party because he's pro-Trump now. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about how you feel about the Democratic Party. Talk to me about how do you feel about your alliance or your President Trump, especially in light of everything that's happening, the storming of the Capitol, and then the state of the Democratic Party in general. If you can give me in general.
Yes. Well, I'm a Trumpocrat, Democrat for Trump.
Uh-oh.
And nothing's changed. I was that even before he sent me home.
Okay.
I would watch it from prison. I'd see the kind of stuff he's doing, shaking things up, changing stuff, actually changing the Republican Party. That Republican Party before him, that George Bush Republican Party, the McCain-Romney Republican Party, had no room for black people in it. They had no interest in solving the problems facing low-income communities, black communities, and others. Trump has changed that in many ways. Now, no one is perfect.
But what about January 6th, man?
Well,
I'm going to just tell you, as a black dude watching that, I'm like, them dudes, they built a gallows. The people that was out there would have killed us. I'm going to say that on the issue of immigration, I think Trump found a thing for black folks, and I think there is a complete dissatisfaction in the black community with the Democratic Party. But again, like when you put the noose up there, let me just tell you, he pushed anybody that was even thinking about messing around back over to the other side. And so for me, Governor, who I give you a lot of props, even though you say you didn't do stuff for black folks, when I see you accept that, and I'm going to tell you, I wasn't anti-Trump. I was like, man, get what you get, right? 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I read what Joe Biden said, Trump said, all of that. But I think when you put if we can ignore that, then I think you give yourself a challenge, particularly in probably one of your most loyal constituencies.
Sure.
What are your thoughts?
Well, when you say news, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about if you saw what happened on January 6th, they erected it when they stormed the Capitol. Yeah. They literally erected a gallows. Like, who brought the wood?
Yeah, no kidding.
Who were those people?
Right, but look, I had a bunch of idiots who supported me when I'd run for office.
Okay,
you can't control what a lot of dumbass people do who are extreme.
Stand down and stay ready. Stand down and stay ready.
No, I
Proud Boys, that makes me a little nervous. Because you and me both know the second I get south of I-80, it's a whole different country. And that makes me a little nervous, Governor.
Yeah.
Did that give you any pause?
Yeah, I mean, look, again, there's constituency groups on both sides that are extreme. Teddy Roosevelt called them the lunatic fringe.
Mm-hmm.
Both parties have it. You say that's valid. But I also see Trump's actions. I see the First Step Act. I see him pardoning Alice Marie Johnson, black woman from Alabama.
Sat right in that chair.
God bless her. I mean, here's a lady who went to 21 years in prison, first-time nonviolent drug offender. She's the personification of how black people get screwed in the criminal justice system.
So
He cut her loose.
Let me stop you right there, because one of the things I was talking about today, yesterday I they were repairing cannabis, right? Or trying to repair cannabis. And my concern is that they put an individual up in front of us to say this is what happens for all of you, but it's not really. I love Alice Marie Johnson. She was one of the nicest ladies ever. But do the same people that he's telling to stand down, stand back, are they the same people that see Alice Johnson the same way that we see them?
Probably not. Okay. I mean, are you asking me, are there racists who support Republicans, including President Trump? Of course.
Okay.
Were there racists who voted and supported me? I believe that's true. I'm sure.
Ooh, is Mike Madigan a racist? I'm sorry. Let me stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with
we
that.
all do. We all do.
Yeah.
We all do here.
Yeah.
It's clear. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, see, that's that kind of form of Madigan type racism. That's sort of like, behind the scenes, throw a little stuff here and there just to kind of keep people in their place, but don't really do the meaningful things that could create opportunity. That isn't just Madigan. There's a lot of people in politics, frankly, too many in the Democratic Party, who like to keep it just that way. And the Republican, they could get away with it and have been able to for decades because the Republican Party offered no alternative. I know Trump is a controversial figure, and I know that a lot of people don't like him, and he's been called a racist and all of that. I don't believe that for a second. I think he's the first Trumpocrat. He was a Democrat in the 1990s. He supported Bill Clinton, okay? He's changing the Republican Party in a way that's reaching out to the black community, unlike previous Republicans. And I do believe it's important for any community, but especially the black community, to not just feel like they have nowhere to go but the Democratic Party. It ought to be a competition for the votes of people. And if the Republican Party continues in the direction that Trump's been leading it to try to reach out to black people, notwithstanding those racists and the idiots who are also part of that effort, because there are those, I think everybody will be better served, and black people will have better government for their communities because they won't just be a safe 90 to 95% of the vote for one party and just be given enough, but not nearly enough to live good lives.
You just seem like you've been listening to this show, man. Been listening to that's one of the things we talk about here. We ask what's in it for the black people, and I think one of the issues that we have is that because, and I will tell you, antics like what happened on January 6th probably pushed him way back in a constituency that was leaning, right? Or not leaning, but is really starting to come to the reckoning that even in the most democratic cities, they are the worst places for black people to live.
Mays, let me just say this. Before that, Trump received more votes in the black community than any Republican since 1960.
Oh, I'm clear.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so 100% clear. And I think that one of the biggest things that happens, one of the biggest issues right now for black people is immigration, undocumented immigrants, and how is that going to impact our power? When you were here, when you were running, I think the Latino community was emerging into the power dynamic. I think the remap process, the final deal that Victor Reyes and the speaker and Juan and all them put together was that they would stand down on the acquisition, trying to take black wards and legislative districts in exchange for the $100 million for the schools, as well as some other things that they did. Talk to me about the political dynamics from where you sat to where they are now, from what you've observed in the last year in Illinois.
The political dynamics in Illinois?
Mm-hmm. Who are the players?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the reign of the white Irishman is over.
I think
right?
that's right.
But now who becomes the emerging power? It seems to me that emerging power is the natural order of things would have seemed that it would rotate to black folks, but it seems like the Latinos have now kind of almost usurped the black community in this space.
Well, I think if you're looking at it strictly from an ethnic point of view in the city of Chicago, and it comes down to numbers and places where you can get votes, I think you're right. The Latino community is growing dramatically, and its influence is following those votes. But I think that's a natural thing, and it's always been the case with ethnic groups that have come to America. Like you say, it used to be the Irish in Chicago forever. And, then somebody like me gets elected. People said I had no chance with a name like mine, right? I come from a little group.
Man, it took me a long time to figure out how to spell that, but then I learned it when I had to talk to Dick Mill to get my check. So I was like, Blagojevich. I was like, I got it.
Right. But I mean, the group I come from, Serbians, there aren't a lot of Serbians, okay? But it's an Eastern European last name. And, in Chicago, in the old days, the Polish American community was the second largest, was the largest ethnic group. But they didn't have, so they had the most votes, but because the Irish political establishment was very smart in how they would deal with politics, they were able to maintain that power structure that you talked about.
Gave them Lasky types. The Polish got the city clerk's office.
Yeah, they would, exactly, that kind of thing.
You put your name on it, but you ain't the boss. Go ahead.
But, that kind of coalition politics isn't all bad, because it gives people a chance to kind of get active as well. And the agreements between the political leaders to do it, are generally mutually agreed upon. Harold Washington, for example, when he was reelected in 1987, they put together what was called the Dream Ticket in 1988. And I don't know if you remember, but Ed Verdoliak had then gone to become a Republican. He was running for clerk of the circuit court. And Harold and the black political leadership.
Harold, it was Louis Gutierrez, it was Chuy Garcia. They put this rainbow coalition that was the Dream Ticket then, but has ultimately evolved into a black nightmare.
And Aurelia Paczynski was the candidate for clerk of the court, the Polish woman, right? So they did that too. I think the politics today is, I think the city of Chicago, has still great diversity, and the Latino community is growing in its influence. But if I was black, I wouldn't see that necessarily as a threat. I would see it as just work out some relationships politically and build coalitions with the Latino community and other communities to pursue the interests that are most important to your communities. That's how the political system works. And, I was able to work with Emil Jones, white guy from the north side, black guy from the south side.
Yeah, but that's that president, Emil Jones. He probably letting him right now.
He what?
I was mimicking his voice. Yeah. I might not have done a very good impression of him. Go ahead.
But Emil's a very practical politician with a good heart. And that's a good combination, because you need somebody who's practical, who knows how to get things done. If you just have a good heart, but you ain't got that practical end, nothing gets done for the people. So I think Emil was a great combination, and it was a joy to work with Emil on the stuff that we were able to do together. And, it would have been so much better had Madigan gone along and joined us. We certainly would have liked to have had him, but instead he became sort of part of the Republican. He was the leader of the Republican opposition to us.
That was pretty deep.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep. All right, Governor, we only got a little bit of time left. So one of the things I want to ask you is, you off papers now. You were supposed to do 2 years on, what is it? What do they call it? Supervised release. What does that mean? You got to go to a parole officer or something?
Yeah, probation.
Wait, you had to go to a probation officer? Did you have to go to the joint? Was it Zoom?
No, I would go, and I would. You have to take drug tests. I'm happy to say I passed all my drug tests.
What, do they still drug test you?
Yeah.
So you ain't hit no cannabis yet?
No.
Now that you off?
Nah.
Not even a caramel. Not even an edible something. Come on, man. No, nothing?
Nah, not really. And I'm not, that was always around me when I was growing up, my generation, It was not legal, but everybody was doing it, right? I did it twice. I tried it twice. And
fell asleep.
But I don't think I knew how to do it right,
There people you got to do it like 3 times, because it's the first time it's happening to you, but you don't realize it's happening to you. The second time, you're like, wait a minute, was that it? The third time, you're like, I got it. This is where I'm supposed to be. All right, Governor. So what do you think about the legalization of cannabis in the state of Illinois?
I haven't really studied the issue much. It's been here for a while. They have it in Colorado where I was. Probably fine.
Billions of dollars. They're going to surpass. Yeah. They surpassed the tax revenue on liquor sales this year. up until now, 0 black ownership.
Yeah, bad.
How do
That
you
wouldn't
create
be the case if I was governor.
How does a completely new multi-billion
Yeah.
dollar industry get created in the state of Illinois with 0 black people in it, in a state where it's led by Democrats? You got a Democrat governor, you got supermajorities in all 3, and black folks make that power, and they were able to talk themselves out of getting none. How does that happen?
That's what I'm talking about, that kind of cynical politics that I know exists in the Democratic Party that I've been a member of, because I was up against it myself. That's shocking to me. I didn't know that that's true. It's a reflection of Governor Pritzker, clearly, and the Democratic leaders. Because if the governor wanted some of those businesses to be black, it would have happened, and it would happen.
It's funny because it's so crazy that the people, they had a social equity program, and a lot of his friends qualified as the socially disadvantaged to get these. Like the guy who owns all of the restaurants. When you see Ben Kovler and these guys who are part of the original prohibition. Governor, I'm gonna stop because I gotta ask you, man. I'm thinking to myself. I'm looking at the comments. You still seeing your swag. You got your hair together, and gray is the thing now for the ladies, right? Not that you thinking about anything, Patty, but the ladies love the gray. If you saw the verses with Ronald Isley, he bust out the gray. Women went crazy. You got a full head of hair. You probably should loan Trump some of that. But Governor, it seems like you still got it. Any thoughts of returning to the game, man? It's like you back with the family. Are you thinking, you got any thoughts of coming back to the game? Because I think there's some people you might be able to take out.
My big priority right now.
Here goes the politics.
No.
Look, he's like, I'm not concerned. You know how they do when they won't tell you yes, but then they leave. Come on, give it to me. Let me see so I could go bust it down.
Well, first of all, 8 years in prison, right? I was making $5.25 a month. I went to college for that. You follow me? I got a lot of catching up to do. So I got to do more cameos, and I got to write a book, and I got to go out and give speeches where they pay you to give speeches and stuff like that. Now that COVID's over, I hope to do some of that and tell my story. I very much want to be really out there in front on criminal justice reform. I believe God has a plan for all of us, and there's a purpose behind why things happen. There had to be a reason why they did what they did to me, and I was where I was. I learned a lot about how black people get screwed in the criminal justice system, more than I knew before, which I knew already. I feel like I must do something in that area, and so that's a big priority of mine as well. About, do I ever want to get involved and run for public office? I think, Maze, I said this before. Is Patty listening to this show? She's made it clear if I ever run for office again, I'll have to do that with my second wife. Having said that, can you imagine?
Shit, we can run Patty then.
Huh?
Patty probably might be more popular than you in our neighborhood. Because I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, she's something else.
She held it. She should get her a Hallmark movie. She should get like a Hallmark special or something. Because I'm telling you, and she had the fire in her eyes every time I saw her.
Can I say this real fast about her? So I get arrested, a sitting governor. That's never happened before. They got SWAT teams around my house, 6 o'clock in the morning.
I was watching.
Yeah. I was handcuffed.
Crazy.
Okay.
Crazy.
So all that's going down. Within a couple of days, the Vegas odds makers were taking bets. What are the odds his wife stays with him? And it was 9-1 she was going to leave. 9-1. Now, she didn't, and there we were.
Did she put the money down, though? How much did she put on the bet?
She didn't do any of that, but here's what happened. Here's a fact, statistical fact. When a man is in prison for more than 4 years, there's a better than 90% chance that she leaves. And that's understandable for a lot of reasons. So not only did Patty beat the odds of the Vegas odds makers, I did 8, not 4. And she was there, and she was instrumental with my friend Mark Vargas and President Trump in bringing me home. And what can I say? I've had some misfortune in my life. I think that's fair to say. But I'm so lucky and so blessed that I fell in love with and can walk through life with somebody like her. And the best thing about her, Maze, is she's a wonderful mother. And I would sit in prison in that bunk, like I'd say, and in other places. And I'd fear and I'd worry about my kids. I'd say, who's protecting them? Who's providing for them? And then I would realize, yeah, Patty's there. They couldn't be in a better place with a better person than with their loving mother. And they love their mom. They're so close to their mother. And that adjustment I'm talking about with me coming back, I'm like the odd man out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's okay. It's all good. And they're right with their priorities. But I'm just learning about what my kids are like now and the things that are important to them. And it's all good. The future's bright. And I truly believe, as crazy as it sounds, whether it's politics or not, which I'm not saying it is, I feel like my best days are ahead of me. I really do.
That is awesome way to come out. A couple things. I want to get you, and as you become more of a vociferous advocate for criminal justice reform, I think we got to make sure that we plug you up with the black people that are fighting that fight, particularly our guy Tyrone Muhammad. You may have seen him just a couple days ago. He was on the expressway. But there's a tremendous amount of work that is happening in the community. Let me ask you this before we get out of here. Upcoming governor's race. There's a governor's race. There's a statewide race. I got two real ones that I want to know. J.B. Pritzker. But before I touch on the J.B. Pritzker, talk to me about Alexi. Alexi was with you in what I would call the young gunner stage, right? When you guys came in the government and it was like these young whippersnappers are going to just, and it was like the future was bright and somebody was going to be president and somebody would be U.S. senator. And then you got in some issues. Then we started finding out about Broadway Bank and all of that stuff. And then he went to go play basketball and make some restaurants or something. And now he's back. Have you all talked? And let me ask you your thoughts on kind of that era. Because I'm going to tell you, you all were part of what looked like was going to be a change in the way people were elected in Illinois. And there was so much hope and promise. And it feels like it kind of got, Barack did his thing.
Yeah.
But the rest of y'all kind of got crushed on the way, which I feel like could have been part of the process, but I'll let that go. That's for a conspiracy theory podcast that I have. Talk to me about what your thoughts are on the governor's race, the candidates, particularly the people you know.
Well, it's just about that era you're talking about. Obama, me, Alexi Janulius, three wild-ass last names compared to all those Irish names beforehand, right?
Right.
So that was changed. It was a different generation. And, one guy went to the White House, the other guy went to the shit house. And unfortunately, I was the one in the shit house, right? Julius, wherever he went, it wasn't bad. He was probably back in his family bank and probably lived a good life. That would have been they
kind of shut it down, but it's okay.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah, Broadway had some real issues. But we'll let that be.
Okay. See, I miss a lot when you're gone like I bet.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm not even aware that is he running for governor?
He's running for treasurer.
Oh, for treasurer?
Oh, no, excuse me, Secretary of State. Secretary of State.
He was the treasurer, right?
He was the treasurer. Now he's running for Secretary of State to replace Jesse White.
Well, I guess it's like being Pat Quinn. You got to run for everything. You know what I mean? So you've been the treasurer, now you got to be the Secretary of State. What's Pat Quinn? He ran for Attorney General. He was Lieutenant Governor. He inherited governor, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was the Secretary of State. He ran for the United States Senate.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, he ran for everything.
Yeah.
He ran for everything.
Pat Quinn.
That Pat Quinn. Huh. You know what? We need a podcast I need like a podcast where I can say, give me your thoughts on such and such. Give me your thoughts on such and such. Because I'm going to tell you, your demise was the catalyst for a lot of other people's success. And I saw a lot of people use you as a stepping stone to their own path forward. Governor Blagojevich, I'm going to tell you, I still maintain that if you ran for something, Patty, besides, as long as it wasn't against Patty, I think that our community, not as a whole, I'd say, but I think you probably pull an 80. You probably pull about a 70, 80. And I say 80, and I tell you, Hitler gets 20. Hitler gets 20 in an election. Just go to Mount Greenwood. You can see it. All right. We got to get up out of here. I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show. It has been awesome to sit down with our former governor. I like to call him Rodin Hood. He is former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. Governor, I'll let you close very quickly. We got like 1 minute.
Thank you, May. It's great to see you again. Thanks for having me back. It's always, for me and my family, a joy to be in the black community. Thank you to the men and women of the black community for their love, the support in the worst of times for us. We'll always remember that. We'll never forget it.
Hey, y'all. I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day what's in it for the black people. So for Maze and Sonia, Ruthie and Todd, I am the host, once again, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Stay tuned for a replay of the Book of Dawn. We out of here. Peace.